Hello and welcome to Build Up to a Good Game. We're now 5 minutes away from kickoff at the Molineux. Wolves take on West Ham United in what I am titling a massive game for the European race for both sides, actually. Gonzo, how is oneself?
I'm good, sort of nervously looking forward to it, maybe. How about you?
I was looking forward to it until about 5 minutes ago.
Oh, you've had a little sneak of the team, have you?
If the team is what I think it is, I'm not very happy, actually.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not happy. I could be wrong.
Okay.
I could be wrong. But if it is what I think it is, yeah.
Oh dear.
No,
Oh dear. Well, that sounds like one of the biggies. Might not be.
Yeah,
I don't think you'd be too bothered if Zuma was missing, for instance. I don't think you'd be annoyed if maybe Soufal was not playing and Johnson wasn't. Yes, not happy means he's not brought Alvarez back or one of the front four's not been selected.
Yeah, I mean, for context, I've been really looking forward to this game. Actually, I enjoyed the game against Spurs. I've been quite confident that we're going to win this one. My confidence is taking a dent a little bit. I still think we'll win, but it's not our strongest 11. But anyway, the lineups will be out in 4 minutes, and we'll see what David Moyes has conjured up for this afternoon at the Molineux. Do you think this is a big game? European football on the line?
I absolutely think this is a big game. Look, I mean, we discussed this on our Patreon breakfast show this morning. I think we need 4 wins out of the remaining 7 games to get European football. To guarantee, I think it would pretty much guarantee it. 3 wins and a draw might do it, but we're relying on the coefficient stuff. The 4 wins would have to be, I think, Wolves, Luton, Fulham, and Palace. Otherwise, we're relying on beating either Chelsea, Liverpool. I mean, the Man City one. You've got to assume that title race is going to the last game of the season. We haven't got to assume, but it's likely. I don't think
it's plan for it. You have to plan for it.
Yeah, you do. So I think that's there. Klopp's on his farewell tour, isn't he? And it seems like the planets are lining up for them to win that title, maybe. But it looks like it's going to the end. Arsenal are obviously in good form as well. To beat Chelsea? Chelsea got some really good players. As much as they are a mess this season, they've got some good players. You can't guarantee that you're going to beat them. Can't guarantee you're going to beat anyone, of course. But I think ideally you want your team to go in to beat everybody. But we know David Moyes picks and chooses certain matches. And that's why he goes and he defends and he'll play for a draw in some. But if I was David Moyes and I'd done my mathematics and I'd ascertained that probably 4 wins was going to be needed, this would be one of the games. So it's a massively important game.
Well, he's done his maths because he said, we think we know how much points we need, and therefore we know what games, like how many games we need to win. Then after the Spurs game, he said, I would have taken a point before the game, which again, I think that would suggest he's worked out where he needs to pick his points up from, and this has got to be one of the ones he says 3 points. This has to be a 3-pointer. Because if we win today, we go level on points for Man United, who are 6, and play Liverpool tomorrow. But the worst case scenario is if we lose and all the results go against us, we could drop as low as 11th. So there's a huge swing, equal points in 6 or 11. This bit of the league is incredibly tight. And I think we need to win this one because we're with Leverkusen. Imagine worst case did happen. We're 11th on Monday morning. It's going to be tough to get up for it on Thursday as fans. We probably will once it comes around to quarterfinals, European football and all that. But yeah, a win today, and I think the feel-good momentum keeps going, and we can look forward to that Leverkusen one with a bit of hope that we can come away with insert respectable scoreline, depending. Some people take a 1-0 defeat, some people wouldn't. Put in what you think is acceptable into that equation. But yeah, we'll wait and see. I'm looking forward to the game, though. I am looking forward to the game. Right, we'll get the line up in just a minute's time. But while you're all here, please do drop a like on the video by clicking the thumbs up. Helps out the video and helps out the channel. Subscribe if you're new to Hammer's Chat and you enjoy the video as well. And also, this video is sponsored by Match Bingo, combining bingo with football. And there's cards available for this game at £2 per play. You will need 15 things to happen in order to win the full house. But it can be simple things such as West Ham take a kickoff, West Ham have a throw, and Wolves to take a goal kick. The link is in the description below. Please do use that link to download the app. It's free to download, it's free to sign up, and there's free to play games on there as well all the time. Gonzo, Would you like to know the starting 11 for West Ham?
I want to know why you're cross. I'd like you to tell me the starting 11, please.
I'll tell you why I'm a bit annoyed. In goal is Lucas Fabianski for the Hammer. The back four, Vladimir Soufal, Kurt Zuma, Konstantinos Mavropanos and Emerson. In midfield, we've got Thomas Souček and James Ward-Prowse, as well as Edson Alvarez returning to the 11. And we've got a front three of Mohammed Kudus, Jared Bowen and Lucas Paqueta. Now, just for context, I know what everybody's going to be asking. Mikel Antonio is on the bench, so he's available. He's just not selected for the starting 11. So one change from the side that drew 1-1 with Spurs. Out comes Mikel Antonio, and in goes Edson Alvarez.
I'm not, well, unfortunately, I can't be speechless because we're ready to do a video and we're ready to talk about the game. I tell you what, talk about loading the gun for somebody else. You know, he needs to win this now because there's two things that immediately spring to mind here. Firstly, the way he does, well, three things actually. Firstly, why is he rinsing these players in the way that he has? There won't be an injury to Antonio. That'll be fatigue. He'll be protecting him. If he's doing that, why has it taken him? I mean, if we can conclude that Scamacca was not a successful signing, why has it taken him 2.5 bloody years to replace Sebastian Haller? If a striker is this pivotal to the team and the way he plays, I just don't know what's wrong with him. And also, if you can see that and you think, actually, I'm going to go with what I have in terms of striker, why have we seen practically no game time for either Danny Ings, Divine Mabama, or Maxwell Cornet to have them primed and ready to play in that striker role? Because to tell you what we're doing now, I think our attack got a little bit better when Lucas Paqueta came back. I think we couldn't score a goal from open play without him. It got incrementally, it got a little bit better. It got significantly better when Antonio came back into the attack because we were playing with one too few attackers. Everybody bloody knows it, right? Everybody knows it. And I just don't understand if you can see that that's the point. Why just any number of things. Sign someone in January. We just had it. One of the experienced strikers or forwards or whatever, like Cornet or like Ings, get a system where they're operating in it, or develop one of the youngsters or do something. This is it. It was a massive risk. The biggest risk was not so. If we consider all he's done is he's got cover for Edson Alvarez in January in Calvin Phillips. I think that was a good thing to do and a sensible thing to do. Okay, it hasn't worked out. And actually, it's so bad, he can't even trust him to cover for Edson Alvarez now, right? So that's how bad that is. But the decision not to have any attacking players and get rid of the ones that we had. I mean, what we're gonna see today, and I really hope it works, but what we're going to see today is we're going to see Lucas Paqueta starting on the left-hand side. We're going to see James Ward-Prowse in the defensive attacking midfield headless chicken role. And then what's going to happen is at some point, Ward-Prowse will go over to the left and then Paqueta will come to the middle. And it may work. But I'll tell you what, bearing in mind that's where he's going to end up, we would actually, other than Ward-Prowse on the left, the other guys were probably better options. Ben Rama probably was a better option. And now I know he wasn't great. I know he was a bit crappy. He's a bit stinky this season. But I've got to say, James Ward-Prowse is probably the worst left winger I've ever seen in my life. And I've got no desire to see him play there. So I'm concerned, and that's what my concern is. Hopefully I'm wrong, and it's a tactical master plan, and we beat Wolves. And maybe the plan is to keep it tight, Geo. Keep it tight, 60 minutes, then bring Antonio on. Okay, brilliant. If that works, well done. We'll hold my hands up in a video later on today and say, well done, David Moyes. I absolutely will. But these are my worries for the game.
Yeah, I guess the one sort of positive, if you like, is that there's 10 of the 11 started when we beat them 3-0 at London Stadium. The only swap was Mavropanos and Aguirre. That was the rest of it was the same. Boom was up front, Kudus was on the right, Paqueta was on the left. We got a hat trick of assists from Paqueta, 2 goals from Kudus and 1 from Jared Bowen. I'm not feeling as confident we're going to see that today. I think he's taking a bit of a risk here. Do I get it? Yes, I do. I get what he's trying to do. He's trying to protect Antonio for Leverkusen on Thursday. He's decided that Mikel Antonio is fatigued and needs a bit of a rest. I do not necessarily disagree with that, but this is where you look back at, the Spurs game. You think, well, could you have taken him off then? If you took him off with 20 minutes to go, wouldn't you have been okay to start today? Would that break would have done him good? And I think the answer to that would be quite possibly. And this is the disappointing thing when he makes no subs and then comes to today, and he has to rotate the side to keep players fresh, and it's a bit like you can't. It's frustrating. When I seen the lineup earlier, I wasn't happy with it because I've been really looking forward to this game, actually. And I do think it's massive that if we want European football, we have to win today. And it may work. And do you know what? I suspect it still might, Gonzo. I think it still might work.
Sure.
Kudus over on the right is good. It's a bit frustrating we don't have a left-sided player, because then you could have, if you had to take Antonio out, you could have took him out, moved Kudus to the right and put a left-sided player in, and left Lucas Paqueta where he is. But I've been really impressed by Paqueta recently. And now he's moved back to sort of his original position. Bowen's gone up front where he struggled. So 3 players are moving. The one I'm pleased with is Kudus going over to the right. I think we'll see a better Kudus over on that side.
But and a better Emerson.
Yeah, you see a better Emerson. But while there's 1 or 2 players that benefit, I think there's 1 or 2 players like Paqueta and Jared Bowen that may lose out. But we've just been better with Michail Antonio. Against Newcastle, he went off. We got a lot worse. I just hope that come the hour mark, we are drawing and we can bring Michail Antonio on and we can go and get the win today, because today is absolutely crucial. In the preview, a few people said that if we lose this one, forget about European football. And I'm sort of inclined to agree with them, really, actually. It's the first time I felt it this season. I've always been quite optimistic we'll finish 8th and have Conference League football next season. I still am right now. Yeah. I still am. But I do think that involves winning today's game. I think we have to win this one. It's frustrating. It's really, really frustrating. And the worst thing is this morning, I was reading quotes from David Moyes regarding the importance of and struggle of signing a striker. And a few hours after I've read that quotes from David Moyes, I'm now witnessing him playing with no striker because of our failures of football club in the January transfer window and in the summer transfer window as well back then. It's just...
Yeah, anyway. It really is. It really is.
Right, we'll get your comments in just a minute. Keep your comments coming in. Well, you can keep them for a 5 minutes time when we return to the live chat. We aren't ignoring you. We've just got a routine here.
No, I'm reading the live chat. Don't worry about
that. Substitutions time for West Ham. These are the players that David Moyes may use this afternoon at the Molineux. We've got Joseph Anang on there. There's still no Alphonse Areola, and there's also there is. Neifigurd is back. He's on the bench alongside Ben Johnson, Alan Creswell, and Angelo Ogbonna. Calvin Phillips is on there alongside Maxwell Cornet, Johnny Ings, and Michail Antonio. So in terms of the bench, George Earthy and Divine Mubama drop out. Michail Antonio and Neifigurd come on to the bench. So a much healthier looking bench.
It is. It really is. I mean, what can you say? It's nice to see a Gerd back, because he is a good player, irrespective of whether he's going to work out at West Ham or he's not going to work out at West Ham in the long term. He is a good player. It's good to have an option now. The concern is going to remain that that Zuma is going to possibly break down at some point, particularly with these consecutive games. It's interesting to see Moyes rest Antonio, was what I was going to say, and not rest Zuma. That is quite interesting in this one. So I do wonder if that will be the case. But there's a big gap between Saturday and Thursday. I'm sure it will look to go with his strongest team. Then I'll tell you what, though, you're looking at these players on the bench, Geo. What he cannot do here is do what he did against Tottenham. I would suggest Moyes needs to be making 3 or 4 substitutions in this game. And I'm not talking about 83rd minute subs and stuff like that. He's going to need to make substitutions now. He really is. Because it's all very well highlighting these games and targeting them as points, and we do need 4 wins. And maybe he did target Tottenham and think, I'll get a draw from that. But there's no way he targeted Burnley and thought, I'll get a draw from that, and other games like it. There's no way that that's the case. And he's just going to have to deal with, it's not the cards he's been dealt, it's the cards he's dealt himself. It's absolutely his decision to go into. Look, I know they weren't ideal. And I know they were players that were maybe forced upon him. And earlier on in the window, maybe Jota, who he didn't want before he actually went and he did sign with Al Ittihad in the end, and they registered him as a player. Sorry, I know it wouldn't have been ideal with Wilfried Zaha for all the reasons that everybody knows, but there were options. to have a stronger squad and to have a bigger squad. And he's decided to go with this, and he really needs to start rotating now. And there's no way, we'll never know. We all suspect the type of players that we think he did sign and we didn't. We know that he chased a Gerd. We know he signed Dawson. We know he wanted to sign Bowen and whatnot. But I will not believe, and I do know he wanted Keane Lewis Potter was his primary target as a winger, but there's no way he had Maxwell Cornet forced upon him. He would have at some point said, "Okay, well, we'll take Cornet." That would have happened. He needs to back his own judgment on this a little bit, I think, and try and play some of these players. So these players on the bench, he's going to have to use some of them.
Well, do you want to know something fun? Guess how many attacking players Wolves have today in their starting 11?
5.
1.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Wolves have got more defensive players than West Ham for this one. So much so that Ait-Nouri looks like he's playing in sort of a number 10 position for Wolves today. This is the Wolves team. As always, in goal is Jose Sarri at back 3. Max Kilman will be right centre-back with Bueno in the middle and Totti at left centre-back. At right wing-back will be Semedo. In centre midfield, we'll have Gomez and Doyle. And at left wing-back, we'll have Doherty. Attacking midfielders will have Lamina and Ait-Nouri. And up front, we'll have Sarabia. So they've got one attacking player in Sarabia starting.
Yeah, he's. Listen, I wouldn't suggest for a moment that Gary O'Neill lied in his press conference, but certainly he was expecting at least 3 back. I know he was expecting Dawson, who he said was likely. Cunha was one, and Wayne Chan was another one as well that he thought might well be back for this game.
2 of them are on the bench.
Okay. So yeah. But yeah, look, he's got his own problems. We got to be beating this team. Despite my little rant at the start, which I think was found. I just get annoyed with David Moyes' decision making sometimes. So I know I'm in quite a safe company, having already read a lot. I spent the last 5 minutes reading the chat. Yeah, we should beat this lot. We really need to.
Just to pick up on this, it could be Doherty in the attacking formation. The sort of websites such as SofaScore have got Ait-Nouri at left wing back and Doherty in number 10 role. However, my interpretation, and this is just my opinion, I think Doherty will start left wing back and Ait-Nouri will be pushed forward a little bit. Now, he worries me. I'm a huge fan of Ait-Nouri. I think he's a fantastic player, really good dribbler, someone that we've got to pay attention to, doesn't mind shooting, quite creative as well. I really like Ait-Nouri. And Lamina, I think, has been excellent for them this season. But we cannot beat this Wolves team. We have big problems. And here's the thing. Moyes isn't the only manager hoping to get to 0-0 on the hour mark and bring on an attacking player because they've got Cunha on the bench. So Gary O'Neill will also. So this is the thing. While Moyes might think, we get to the hour mark, I'll bring on Antonio, we can go for the win. Gary O'Neill will also be bringing on his main striker to try and go for the win as well. So it could get a little bit fun from the hour mark onwards. And the bench for Wolves, I'll discuss that starting 11 in a second. But the bench for Wolves, for those tuning in, we've got Bentley on there as well as the different Bueno. And we've also got a few youngsters on there for Wolves this afternoon, like Charera and Chawome. Cunha's on there as well as Craig Dawson. And we've also got Fraser, Lamina, and Traore. That is the bench for Wolverhampton Wanderers this afternoon. So a few youngsters on there, but Cunha and, of course, Firmhammer, Craig Dawson on the bench. We have to beat this team. They've got 3 left-footed centre-backs as well. It's just a pity we don't have a left-sided player to take advantage of this, really. But I guess what it might do is give Paqueta an opportunity to come in field a little bit. Semedo will be there, but if Emerson can take Semedo, it might really free up Lucas Paqueta to come in field because it will actually suit Kilman. If Paqueta comes in and Kilman would just go take him, it would suit Kilman going over to the left side slightly as well. But yeah, this is not a good Wolves side. They've been, we've been hard done by in the January transfer window. They've been hard done by in January transfer as well. Selling 2 strikers, not bringing anyone in. Yeah. And now look, you're playing a wing back in the number 10 role today. At least our number 10 is actually a centre midfielder rather than a wing back. So there you go. It's not a good Wolves team. So while I looked at ours and went, where's Antonio? I looked at theirs and went, that's all right. That's
Yeah,
we have to beat this.
We have to, and I think we will. if we don't, there is no hiding place. There's no hiding place after this, and for that reason, I really think we will. I'm not just saying I want to be praising a tactical masterclass, and that's what I want to be doing after this. You lose to this, I'm telling you, it's game over. It really is. Not. I don't mean now. I don't mean lose his job this season, but I really do think this. We basically have to really. Well, we basically then got to beat Liverpool or someone like that and go on a winning run and beat Leverkusen and get from. We've got to do this. Is the easy way. The easy way to do it is today. If you don't do it today, you're picking the hard road, and we might not quite manage to walk that path. So yeah, today is important.
Right then, we're going to do a little bet now. Myself and Gonzo are going to pop it together, and if the wins, we'll give one of you guys the cash at home. We'll tell you how to enter in just a moment's time. But Gonzo, what are you fancying for this one? I think we're both feeling a West Ham win. Quite good odds at 64, so I think we slap that in and use that as our building blocks. What else do you fancy?
I mean, today they've got a lot of centre backs there. Is that what they've got as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that takes the edge off me. Souček goal, so maybe not do that one.
I fancy Kudus to have a few shots and cutting in from the right hand side. He should be able to. And if he is up against Doherty, and I hope it is, Kudus should rip him a new one today.
Well, do that. 2 shots for Kudus.
And I think at the London Stadium, Kudus, their left Aït-Nouri. I don't know, was it Aït-Nouri? I don't think it was Aït-Nouri at the London Stadium, was it? I don't feel like it was. Bellegarde, that's who it was. But anyway, he pushed forward, and Kudus went one-on-one with Totti, and Kudus absolutely rinsed him, time and time again, coming down that right side. So I think Kudus will do the same again to Totti. So I think it would put Kudus shots on target, maybe. And then I think Lamina for Wolves will be the one that's pulling the trigger. Anything else you fancy? It's quite slim odds unless...
No, everyone's saying Dawson. Everyone's saying Dawson to score and stuff like that, but I can't see him in the
He's on the bench, so we're not doing that one.
Yeah, I mean, it would be sod's law, obviously, if he did. I think we need to pick a goal scorer, Geo.
So what do you want?
Well, but who's he going to rinse? He's going to rinse Bowen. Bowen plays 90 minutes. Well, crikey, I've seen us go 3 and 4 goals. I've seen us score that many and Bowen not get substituted, by the way. So I was going to save it unless we go out. So maybe we might want to pick a Bowen goal.
Yeah, I mean, that's... Well, we'll just round up to £100. Right, we'll round up to £100. £100 if this bet wins. Odds are a bit slim, so we're going to round it up to £100. If these 4 things happen, we'll give one of you guys £100. West Ham to win the match, Jarrod Bowen to score a goal, Mohammed Kudus to have a shot on target, and Mario Lamina, the Wolves player, to have 2 shots. They don't have to hit the target or anything like that. If that bet wins, we'll give one of you £100. To enter in the live chat, please put the following phrase.
Nice Totti.
There you go. Nice Totti. Get that into the live chat and you are entered into the bet giveaway should it win. While you're all doing that, I just want to remind you to download the Match Bingo app. The link is in the description below. It's free to download, free to sign up. And the West Ham game obviously kicks off in 40 minutes time. You can get your cards from £2 per card. It pays out first line, second line, as well as the full house. And we reckon at least 20 winners now in Hammers Chat. Some of those winners have won multiple times. So there's a good success rate, actually, in terms of winners from subscribers on Hammers Chat. It is a gambling app, so please gamble responsibly. However, at £2 per card, that is something the app take into consideration. And a share of the profits goes to charity as well. So thank you very much to anybody that has downloaded it. Please keep playing it, even if you just play the free games, even if you just pick up the free cards every single week. Please keep getting involved. Anyway, Gonzo, I think we're both feeling optimistic / confident, actually.
No.
Not anymore.
Confident but annoyed.
Okay.
Confident / annoyed. I'm still annoyed, actually. So the game is to make me less annoyed. Yeah, I am. In fact, I would say confident and irritated, actually. I do wonder. I'm aware that I maybe have a confirmation bias. I'm sort of ready to be annoyed at David Moyes, but that's annoyed because they are things that annoy me. I still do look back at the transfer window and I'm annoyed about it. I still do look at how much we need this physical, fast-paced striker who can operate out wide. Yet despite scouting departments and academies in whatever scouting networks in South America, and every a video analysis department which shows us every game in every league in the world, 2.5 years we've not been able to identify. Well, I think we have, but I'm making it sound more theatrical. We've not been able to identify this striker that somehow Mikel Antonio is the pinnacle of all strikers. We can't find anyone better than this converted, basically barn door of a winger who used to play as a right back. It's ridiculous. It's actually ridiculous. Do you know what? Not only do I think there are numerous players out there who could do Antonio's job, I think there's probably bloody loads of them. Right, but just for whatever reason. And the thing is, we do this ridiculous thing where we apparently reject a lot of these players because of the Moyes MOT, which isn't fit for purpose anyway. It tells us nothing. It tells us we are, even including the Moyes MOT, West Ham are still completely capable of signing an absolute dud of a footballer. The Moyes MOT doesn't work. He might as well. There's no point in saying, I don't know about his attitude. I don't know if he'll work. Well, a lot of them ain't working anyway. I just wish we'd have signed a striker. Anyway, so I'm agitated, but I really want to be proven wrong on this. I absolutely do. But whilst I'm agitated, I still think this mob, that's not them. They're down there. That mob over there, it's over your side, underneath Geo. We've got to beat that mob with the team we've got. We've got probably a couple of world-class players in our team, some very bloody good ones as well. And they are... The ambitions of the two clubs are different as well, Gio. This has been a real success, I think, because Wolves have had to cut their cloth. The guy that was involved, he might be George Mendes. I'm thinking George Mendes in my head. The super agent that was involved in Wolves, he's had his head turned because the Saudi Pro League have flashed their knickers at him, and now he's getting players over there and doing stuff for them. So they've had that. They've had to sell as well. They've had to cut their cloth. They can't spend on like they were. The project to Wolves is very, very different. They've really, gone and got Bournemouth's manager because Bournemouth didn't want, because Bournemouth basically deemed Iraola was better than Gary O'Neill. So actually for Wolves to stay in the Premier League this season is a success, and it looks like they will. So actually they've done really well. This is not West Ham's ambition, because West Ham aren't that club. West Ham have not in many respects regressed. We're actually trying to build. We are adding people like Tim Stuyton, people like old, what's his name from Werder Bremen, that does the computer stuff and all the rest of it.
Maximilian Hands.
I love it. All hands on deck. There's a good one, right? Maybe the phrase that pays for another day. West Ham are building. West Ham are spending. West Ham are bringing in Ajax's best players. There's a different thing going on here. So West Ham just avoiding relegation is not good enough for West Ham. West Ham have got to qualify for Europe this season, and today we must win.
Right, I agree with everything Gonzo said. Rather than repeating that, I agree with that one. I'm looking forward to it, Gonzo. I'm looking forward to the game. They sort of, Antonio made me a bit, but then I've seen the Wolves team. That's sort of almost balanced me out a little bit, actually. The disappointment has been balanced out by the happiness of what Wolves are doing today. I do think Nouri will cause us a little bit of bother, actually, and that's someone we need to get to grips with. I'd imagine it'll be Souček. I feel like it'll be over at Souček's side in centre midfield that needs to get a grip with Nouri. But if we stop him, I'd imagine Wolves fans are probably quite pessimistic, actually, when they've seen this. I mean, they were before the game. When I spoke to Dave, the Wolves fan, he was saying that as far as they're concerned, it's almost like season over. Can we just get to the summer already? And you think, well, you beat us and you're equal point. You go above us in goal difference. So what you should not be wanting European football, but they just don't think they're capable of getting European. Then when they read out that 11, you can probably understand why perhaps they're a little bit pessimistic. Anyway, right then, let's have a look at what you're saying. Please get your thoughts into the live chat. It could be about the West Ham team, the Wolves team, any hopes or fears you have, but not your score prediction. We'll keep that for Charlie. Oliver says, I have no problem with the lineup, insofar as Moyes will make the Antonio sub straight at half-time if it's going badly, rather than the 60th minute. I struggle to believe
I would imagine that would be the case. Yeah,
I don't think he will.
What if it's going badly?
Well, what's badly?
Well, we're losing.
What's the score?
1-0 to Wolves.
Maybe, but if it's 2-0, then no, I think we're not in this now, so I'll just leave him on the bench. There's no point risking him.
Oh, you want a crikey? There'd be some reactions to that one.
But 0-0, no, I don't think he'll risk him at half time. I think maybe 1-0 Wolves is the only scoreline where you might see him at half time. But even then, I don't think we will. I don't think we'll see a sub at half time unless there's an injury. I think it'll be the hour mark will be the magic number. Because if it was half time, I'd be saying, well, why would you not start him? And if you're a goal or two up, take him off at half time, because at least you've got something to protect then. Newcastle, I know the Newcastle thing still haunts us, but Yeah, I'm not. Nah. Mancunian says he will end up having to turn to Antonio off the bench as we try to come back into the game. Don't. The thing is, though, a lot of managers do turn to the bench. I've seen every manager need to call their players on and change the game. I just don't like it being the plan, if that makes sense.
No. Yeah, yes. The trouble is, it's not like it's fine. It's not great, but if Agurd's not playing, we do have other centre backs. I think that's the thing. There are other centre backs that David Moyes will use. He does what David Moyes doesn't do if one of the centre backs is out, is move somebody else in there who can't really play the position. The biggest problem we got in striker is when Antonio's out, he tries to do something else and he plays someone there that's not a striker. I think that's the point. Other managers do it. Obviously, I know Wolves not a great example because he's not done that, but a lot of them will play. Do you know what I mean? It's like with Man U. If Rasmus Højlund's not there, then he'll probably play Rashford as a striker. Is he a striker? No, but I know it's not a great example.
I'd argue that's a winger up front, personally.
Yeah.
But with Wolves, at least he's tried a couple of youngsters in previous games before reverting to what he has done today. Ironic says it should be a straightforward win. We just don't want to acquire any injuries or red cards. Paul says, but us being confident because Wolves look worse is a problem with the calibre of player that we have. Danny said, I don't think any of us can or will ever understand David Moyes as a human, let alone a West Ham manager. There's 3 strikers on the bench when Bowen was looking decent on the right, and now he's back up front.
Well, that's the problem, isn't it? For the strikers there, all the strikers know not only are they not second choice, that David Moyes prefers his winger as a striker rather than them, and this is where it all falls down. And sometimes Bowen works up front, but there are some systems where he doesn't work, so he doesn't have the physical capabilities. There's nothing wrong with that boy's finishing at all, that's for sure. But sometimes it doesn't work.
Lewis is loving match bingo. Has been one off a full house 3 times now. I feel winners and come and get down low. The only thing I will say, Lewis and others, is you have to be the first one to get the full house. Once it's been claimed, it's been claimed. You need to be the first one to get the first line, second line, and so on.
Lewis just wants some money. He's won. Wow.
Yeah. Metaversal is asking what channel it's on. Charlie will be along later. Ask Charlie. He might tell you which radio you can get a really good idea of what's going on the pitch when you imagine it. Joe's really happy with the team. Maybe we'd have liked a Gerdin over Zuma, but I'm happy with Antonio being protected. Barry said, I can't see a Souček playing as a 10 is a big problem, as you can't play a pass through to any of our front 3. I'm not sure Souček it will be in the 10, though, Barry.
No, I don't think so. Be Ward-Prowse, I think Barry might. For the start, then he'll move to the left, as I say, I think.
Dave says we should win, but let's not forget when we should be. Is there I'm just for clarity, I'm asking this, I do not know. Do you think there's any chance that Ward-Prowse will start on the left and Paqueta will remain in the 10?
No, I don't. I think it will go the other way around because I just don't know what Moyes is seeing. If it is truly awful, as we all mentioned, that the prerequisite skills like having a trick, being able to dribble, a bit of pace, any of the things that you'd need to be a winger, James Ward-Prowse doesn't have. Do you know what? If all it is hard work, he might as well put Ben Johnson there on the left wing, because at least Ben Johnson has a little bit of pace and he can cross the ball with his left foot. It's not his chosen foot, but he has nothing, none of it. Ward-Prowse has none of it. And also, he has no chemistry. He's honestly just no chemistry with Emerson either. I just can't. I would like to hear it. And this is the thing, you don't ever get to ask this stuff at a press conference. I'd love a journalist to say, well, what is it? Why does Ward-Prowse, what do you see? Why do you play Ward-Prowse? We'll never know. I can't imagine for a moment he'll do it. But what he'll do is he'll play an attacking midfield. That won't work. And with Paqueta inside, then Ward-Prowse will end up back on the left. I'll be very, very disappointed if I was left winger.
I imagine the response would be it's to cover Paqueta. So if Paqueta goes infield and stays upfield, Ward-Prowse will get out at the left and cover him.
Yeah. So again, you've turned an attacking position into a defensive one.
But you also don't need that when you're playing Wolves, who play with wing backs. There's no right back to come gallivanting forward. Emerson should be okay with Semedo on his own. Damon's asking about Tilo Kehler's comments. I have seen your comments. It's just try to keep to the match only. I don't think there's anything too damning in there, to be honest. For those that haven't seen it, Kehler basically said he's really enjoying his time at Monaco, and West Ham went ages without winning a trophy. They won the Conference League, which was really good and really big for the club. However, the football didn't suit him, and at West Ham they were often employed to play the low block and focus on counter-attack, invite teams on, go on the counter-attack and score via set pieces, but he's more suited because he's got speed and technical ability on the ball, he couldn't utilise his strengths while playing at West Ham under David Moyes. But at Monaco, he's doing really well. And he's playing really well at centre-back at Monaco. And I believe he's played enough games now to trigger the options. I think the option to buy has now become mandatory, so he will be joining Monaco in the summer in a permanent transfer. So West Ham have essentially banked 10 million in the last few weeks while he's been consistently playing at Monaco. Paul says, still can't believe I'll be there next week for the Fulham game. 60 years old and my first West Ham game.
Amazing, Paul. Amazing. That's great news. Great news.
Well, enjoy it. Hopefully you see a win, Paul. That's all I can say. Leo says Kudus is there to be used and Moyes just doesn't. Squad management is the reason why he should not be here next season. We've got Corky, who says, I think Ben Johnson has been unfairly treated, always looks reliable when he comes on.
Yeah, and sometimes very bloody good.
Hummus says, I'd have played Mikel Antonio and then taken him off early. We need to get 6 points minimum from the next 3 to have a chance of European football next season. Bill said Kerr is more suited to actually playing football, and Brian thinks he's a good player. And Hummus says the summer transfer window is going to be really interesting. Williams' first ever West Ham game was Arsenal won at home. Flew from Australia for it.
Nice. I love that.
It'd been nice. We got beat 6-0.
Oh. Nice flight though, William, right? Nice to smooth landing.
Yeah. When you fly to London from Australia to watch your first ever West Ham game, you don't think the flight's going to be the best bit.
Yeah, nice wasn't the word, was it really?
I sometimes hate the train home or whatever after a game where we've not won. That 2-hour journey, I sit there miserable. I can't imagine what it must be like flying back to Australia, watching your team get pumped 6-0.
I don't know. The longest flight I've ever had 17 hours, but I think you go to Australia. It wasn't as far as Australia, so it can't have been. Australia's got to be longer. I think you'd probably stop enough. You'd be really, really knocked off. Sorry, William.
Liam's first game will be the one against Luton.
Home game.
Yes.
Nearly end of second to
Gonzo at home.
Fucking hell. Sorry, excuse me. Second to last game of the season, isn't it? I think something like that.
No. I'm sure it goes Liverpool, Chelsea, Man City. I think that's our last 3 games.
Was it?
I'm sure it is. I'm sure that's our last 3. Our next 4 is the ones that you said, which is
Palace, Fulham,
Wolves, Luton.
Palace,
Luton, and then I think it goes Liverpool, Chelsea.
Well, all I would say is check the fixtures before you do it. Don't go on what I'm saying, because as we've just seen in the last 5 minutes of this video, I can be very wrong.
And do not ask Kevin. Those who tuned into our build-up show last weekend will know what we're referring to. Kevin thought the game was tomorrow. We were doing the build-up show, and Kevin thought the game was in 24 hours' time.
Yes. He did, didn't he?
Do not ask Kevin.
No.
When the game is, that's for sure. Stephen says last home game is Luton.
Oh, well, there you go. So it is the one before game before last.
Well, it must be then, because I thought Liverpool was the last home game.
No, I think it went Luton, Man City with the last 2 games.
Oh, there you go. Don't ask me, Eve. Look, neither of us know the fixtures. To be fair, they get changed.
I don't know why you're not tuning in, quite frankly.
No, me neither. Johnny, thank you very much for the £5 chat. He's just downloaded the Match Bingo app. Through the link in the description. Well, good luck, Johnny. Is
that him on the pitch? See Johnny there on the pitch, striding down the pitch? Or was it Bobby? It was either Johnny or Bobby Moore on his England kit.
I hope you are lucky. Mancunian says, we will be the second best team Leverkusen have played this season. Dortmund and co are nothing this season.
Ooh. Fighting talk, Mancunian. Fighting talk.
Max said, I don't think the lineup is too bad. Hopefully, Antonio will be in beast mode for Leverkusen. The football and gods we know. But the one thing I will say, right, is if this does work, let's just say we're 2-0 up on the hour mark or something.
Yeah.
Antonio could then essentially get the whole day off. You wouldn't have to bring him on at 2-0. You wouldn't do, would you? Obviously, if it went 2-1, you'd be like, right, get on straight away. But
I'm not classing that as a day off. If I'm Antonio, I'm thinking, well, I've not been able to go to the cinema.
Well, you know what I mean.
Not a day off. This is not a day off. I've been able to do nothing. Listen, I don't think it's a bad team either. All right, I am not quibbling with the majority of the lineup. I just think when we play this way, we have one attacker too few, and that's my problem with it. Yeah, the majority of the players on that pitch, I agree with. I think
the issue is it's an unnecessary risk, but also it's a reminder of the lack of squad depth. It's not. It's like you said. It's not even necessarily resting Antonio. If Antonio parked his bum on the bench today and an adequate replacement came in, went up front, and we continue with Kudus, Paqueta, and Bowen behind the striker, you'd say, "I get that one, Gaffer. Crack on. Good luck. Hope it works. Antonio's rested. Good job." But it's not. You take Antonio out. And then Bowen moves up front, Paqueta moves to the left, Kudus moves over to the right, and now James Ward-Prowse is number 10. So there's 4 changes. One change has triggered another 3 within the side. Yeah. Like you said, there will be benefits from that. Emerson and Kudus will be the 2 main beneficiaries from these changes, but there are also 1 or 2 who perhaps won't perform as well. And it's frustrating because I've enjoyed a lot more recently how we've played since Antonio's returned. And it feels a bit like, I don't know, like almost we're not going to enjoy it as much today. I could be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong. I think this one's going to be more about just being efficient, and I think we will be. We're both predicting wins. It's not like we're both sat here saying, "Oh, we're going to lose now." We're both thinking we're still going to win. I think it's denting my confidence a little bit, but also it's just the reminder about the lack of squad depth, etc., etc. Anyway, Gonzo, shall we bring in our third musketeer?
I want to. He's got a cup. I'm going to see him in the green room. I wonder if he's got a spoon in his cup. That's what I want to know. Cup it is.
Oh,
he's got a spoon in his cup.
Right, this. Don't like his prediction. It's too accurate. Hello. Got Hammer's Chat Cup, of course. Available on. Have you got any currently, Geo?
Oh, yeah, I've got a few of those ones.
Okay, available at hammerschatstore.com.
I had an accident on one of my Hammer's Chat mugs. The patrons have seen it. This one, the Champions mug, right?
Yeah.
I broke the handle. And it's not fragile. Do you know that shirt? It was hanging on the mug on my bookcase. This was used to hold a Paqueta shirt, and then I knocked the bookcase and it fell down and the handle broke.
Oh.
So now,
is the bookcase all right?
The bookcase is fine.
The Paqueta shirt, all right.
The Paqueta shirt, well, it's more than fine. It's just I'm trying to get rid of the bloody thing. No patrons have won it yet. I'm trying to get rid of it. So,
it's all right. Colin would have won that shortly.
He'll
predict a 3-1 for West Ham and he'll win it.
Cyber's not far off. It's not a vase. It's a pen holder. It's where I now put my pens.
Yeah.
I've got another one. Look, I've got this one here. It's my scissor holder.
But that's still got his handle.
Yeah, but there's a mark on it or something. Do you know when they arrive? Look, I don't know if you can see that white speck there.
Oh, yeah.
When they arrive, I go through everything, make sure they're all 100%. And if they're not, we ain't selling it.
You have a separate cup for pens and scissors?
Yes.
I'm with you, Charlie. That's peculiar.
Seems superfluous to me.
How many? Well, you'd have to have a lot, wouldn't you? But there's only one pair of scissors. But how many pens are in the? Show us the pen one.
Well, I've taken them out to show you the mug.
All right.
Is
there no room with all the pens in there? Is there no room for a pair of scissors as well?
I've got 4. I've got one for my scissors. I've got one for my Sharpies, one for my biros, and then I've got one for anything else. So, like my white labels are in the other one at the minute.
What are you doing? What's your system, Charlie?
It still goes in one, and then if there's not enough space, then sure, we can get a second one if we need to. But what's this? It's giving primary school dinner with the tray and it has the different compartments for the different bits and the thing. Like, I don't just put it all in one though, surely.
No, then it'd all be muddled up.
I'll tell you what. This is the difference between having a whole house and then living in a flat in North London. Space. This is what I'm talking about.
He can have as many mugs as he wants, can't he, Geo? As many mugs as he wants.
Exactly.
It could be anywhere. The weird thing is, he's up in the potteries. They're kicking the stuff out there. He lives near a Bridgewater factory, apparently. It's mugs galore. He can't move for mugs up there.
They're on the windowsill next to this lovely thing.
Not real wood, is it?
Well, yeah, I don't know. I've chipped it anyway. We don't sell these. This is just something I got for myself. I chipped it, so a bit sad, but I like it.
Did you have the Paqueta shirt hanging on that as well? No,
I'm not risking this. I do like this. This is one of my favourite things, actually. The Paqueta shirt's just hanging on the windowsill now, actually. Just there.
A couple of people have asked tell them about winning that Paqueta shirt. Can you tell them how they can win that Paqueta shirt?
Well, patrons better be bloody quick. You need to log into Patreon, patreon.com/. You need to log in and enter the prediction competition. Just what's the correct score and the first goal scorer of the match and ultimately we will have one overall winner, and they will win the Paqueta shirt. But if you're an addict, you will win the Paqueta shirt. You also win a signed Tony Gale biography and a signed Julian Dix print. So you win 3 prizes today.
And a handleless mug.
No, I'm keeping that. That's my pen holder.
Oh, of course
I'm
it
trying
is.
to give away my
I
pen
don't know, I
holder.
forgot so quickly.
I am.
He needs that for his specific size
No,
B pencil.
His red pen. That holds his red pen, that mug.
I'm being bullied. I'm being bullied now here.
What's the poll, Charlie?
Oh, we asked how you felt about the starting 11. And it was not ending for some reason. Hang on, give me a second. Right, okay, it's ended. Right. We asked how you felt about the starting 11. The options were I love it, I like it, I dislike it, or I hate it. 6% of people said they hated it. 7% of people said they loved it. 42% of people said they disliked it. 43% of people said they liked it. Unbelievably close on the extremities and in the middle ones there.
Yeah.
In a fun way. 1% between the two of each of them.
Yeah, wow.
I hated it, or I disliked it. It was very ahead for a long time, but I like it powered back into an exciting 1-point lead, which makes sense. I understand where people are coming at. You know, there's a lot of disappointment about Mikel Antonio, really, if we're being honest about it, and so sort of adds up, doesn't it?
Well done. Nice.
Yeah. Anyway, right, before myself and Gonzo disappear, Charlie's here for the duration of the game, and I'll join them at half time, so don't you go anywhere. Stick around and keep Charlie company as he provides a form of fan commentary for you. Gonzo, I didn't catch up with you in the preview, but I noticed you've done 3-1 in your massive super duper bet today. You've done 3-1 West Ham.
Oh, you like that bet. That's a whopper, that bet, right?
Yeah, can I get the 95 grand if it wins?
Yeah.
You still have 700 of it.
Obviously, if I won, I was gonna lavish you with wedding stuff. So yeah, I would. Yes, I would rather give you wedding stuff. To be fair, but yeah, rather than just
rather than 95 grand.
You'll
get another couple of cups.
I wouldn't mind it being 95
go.
grand if I've got that. I wouldn't mind it being 95 grand, but I would rather give it in gifts and honeymoons and things like that.
I need a new pen holder.
You need to. I'll tell you what I'd do. What you need to do is you need to aggregate all your pens with this, and then once you've got that right with the 4-color pens, what you can do is you can move on to this little beauty here.
No,
I'd sort everything out, and I'll give you some pens.
Do you know there's a Premier League manager that has a multicolored pen during the game? Guess who it is? Genuinely, that pen, that first one you showed, he's got one of them, and he uses that, a similar one. It's not the leopard print one. Stop looking for your leopard print. I
was.
I knew you were. It's not a leopard print pen. It's just a normal pen with multicolored, different variations. Which Premier League manager do you think uses it?
David Moyes.
It's not David Moyes.
My guess would be Eddie Howe.
Oh,
I'll wait a minute because everybody's just trying to guess. To be fair, Dino Irish. This is confidence. I like it. It's Thomas Frank. It is Thomas Frank.
Is it?
Yeah.
Bang.
Thomas Frank uses the multicolored pen when writing notes during the game.
I've always thought he was a sensible guy. I'll tell you what, though. I think I'll just want to reveal this here. I don't know if the camera's going to work. So you guys have revealed your pen system. I just want to reveal mine here.
Charlie, how do you just click on Gonzo? Make Gonzo
Can you
big.
see here? Right. Sorry, excuse the mess. See here. Velcro.
That's worse than me.
Like the thing is, Geo's is superfluous. Gonzo's taking it a whole step forward. It's just madness. I love it. I've
got lots of there. There's only a few of them there because obviously for my whiteboards, which also have Velcro on them, and stick to the walls. Which
I mean, here's the thing: you say I have to review my system. I just have a pencil. It's just on my keyboard. If I need to write something, then it's there. I don't need anything else. It's just there. Bang, no messing. No messing. Don't get me wrong. We do have a pen cup somewhere over there, but you know,
I've got a pretend White Russian here.
Why?
Doesn't matter, does it? It's not important. I need to go and have a bowl of Frosties before the game, so I don't want to divulge it.
Anyway, I need to get going. So Gonzo, you said 3-1 on your big bet.
I'm going with 2-1 because of the Antonio thing.
Oh, okay, there you go. Gonzo obviously thought Antonio was going to score. Charlie, just out of interest, what's your score prediction? What's your
2-0 West Ham?
2-0 West Ham.
I'll stick with what I said in the preview.
Sorry, I just saw that. I had to click on it. I approve. Go on.
What one did you mean to click on Lee's as well? This one. I thought that's what
I
it was
meant
as well.
the Thundercat, Dean's Thundercats.
Oh, I mean, show your cup again, your little glass again.
Oh, I see. It's a White Russian from the Big Lebowski. I see what you're saying. And look, I'll tell you what, I might be fertile, but not that fertile. Right? It's definitely not.
Anyway.
Just tapping it on like it doesn't prove anything.
It doesn't go solid, would it, Charlie?
Just means it's been there for a while.
Is that right? Exactly. And the ice, and it's so potent, the ice has not melted.
No, it's like taxidermy. Do you know what I mean?
Stuffed sperm.
Oh, just frozen somehow. I don't know, man.
Cryogenic.
I ain't a taxidermist. I couldn't tell you.
That's the next Hammers Chat giveaway sorted.
You imagine? My word!
Up for grabs, we've got a mug with no handle.
Boss of Harry Monk.
Right, we're disappearing before this descends into any chaos. Charlie says 2-0. Gonzo says 2-1. I also say 2-1. Got a full house. All three of us think West Ham are going to win. You can find out if we're correct. Kickoff's 50 minutes away. Charlie will be with you for the 90 minutes. I'll be back at half time, and then myself and Gonzo will have our reviews after the game as well. Thank you very much for joining us thus far. Stick around with Charlie, and Gonzo, I will catch up with you on Monday for the player ratings.
Looking forward to it.
Charlie, I will catch up with you at half time.
All right, I'll see you then. Thank you, Geo. Thank you, Gonzo. And thank you all for joining. How are you all? Hope you're all well. It's West Ham versus Wolves in the Premier League. It's a lot to go through. It's a lot to deal with. I don't know. I mean, there's obviously been a big reaction to it. I was watching the beginning of the build-up show as I was doing the bits and the pieces in the background, and obviously a very strong reaction to the lineup. So let's run through those in as much detail as we can before we get score prediction and everything else. That was a weird glitch, wasn't it? But there we go. West Ham lineup as such. Fabianski starts on goal with Sufal, Zuma, Mavropanos and Emerson. Alvarez and Souček start probably in a double pivot with Bowen, Kudus and James White. So it'd probably actually be Paqueta, Kudus and James Ward-Prowse in behind Jared Bowen. You would suspect. There's a couple of different ways that you could wiggle it around if you wanted to. Maybe Paqueta starts up front, and Bowen starts on the right and Kudus starts on the left, or maybe James Ward-Prowse starts on the left and Kudus or Paqueta start in the middle or whatever. There's also different ways you could work it, but the way it seems like it will be is the four here, and then everyone else sort of thing. That's probably how it'll end up working out. The bench being Anang, Johnson, Cresswell, Ogbonna, Aged, Phillips, Cornet, Ings, and Mikel Antonio. It's a big shame. It's a big shame. Antonio obviously played the full game against Spurs. I understand the reasoning. You know, we just lost to Newcastle. We want to try and get in there. If we feel like we can't win without Antonio, which is how some of the reaction I read as the lineup came out today would suggest, then if we were to take Mikel Antonio off, as we did against Newcastle, then we've got no chance against Spurs. So I understand sort of keeping him on. It was a concern for me. It was an alarm bell. It was a surprise. And then obviously we're in a situation now where he can't play the full game again. And if we're in a situation where he can't play the full game, as I said in the preview, I personally would have played him for the beginning. I would have played him for the first half. That would have been my thing. I said on there I was confident for the first 60 minutes of the game. It's after that bit is where I was a bit more hesitant about West Ham getting a result today. Outside of that, realistically, I understand his argument. There was a time before Mikel Antonio came back where if it wasn't this exact 11, maybe switching Fabianski and Areola around, obviously, then people felt like it was impossible for us to get a win, but this was an 11 that could get us a win. We're in that situation today. We're in that situation today. But I understand why he's done this. Personally, I would have probably started Antonio, but if you can get away with this without having to resort to Mikel Antonio, then that helps us out massively for the Leverkusen game. It is difficult to justify to an extent, but I get it. I understand. Here's Wolves lineup. They are going with It's a lot of defenders, as Geo said. But as Geo was reading it out, I'll be honest with you, I didn't entirely know what was going on. And as we read this through, I want to ask for your confidence levels. One being the least possible, 10 being the most confident possible. How confident are you of a West Ham result today? Put that in the live chat while I go through this, because I can't figure it out. I don't know. Geo said there's a lot of defenders here. As I was typing it out, I had no clue which way round they were all going to be. So they've got Jose Sarr, and then I'll just read it as written. Semedo, Bueno, Kilman, Totti, Doherty, Gomez, Lamina, Doyle, Sarabia, Ait-Nouri. Question marks about who starts up front. Probably Sarabia, you'd imagine. Question marks about who starts in the 10. As Geo said, I would predict Ait-Nouri as well, but I've seen Doherty being put in that place a few times because you've got two sort of right wing backs in Semedo and Doherty, but I think Ait-Nouri is the best suited to playing further forward in those roles. So yeah, as Geo said, I would also say probably Doherty at left wing back, and then Ait-Nouri was one of the 10s. But I've got no idea. We'll have to see how it ends up going, because it's very it's just very a lot of defenders. Their bench: Bentley, Traore, Cunha, Lamina, Dawson, other Bueno, Chiria, Fraser, and Chiwum is how I've pronounced those two names. Probably incorrectly. Obviously, terrifying. The difference maker, I would call him. But those are the two lineups. It's going to be interesting. We have more than enough to win this game. And if Antonio wasn't fit and we were playing this starting 11, I would call it the strongest starting 11 possible that we have. Unfortunately, he is fit. Well, as fit as he can be, and so when you look at it in that sense, it is a bit disappointing. But I can't be if essentially he's prioritizing Leverkusen, I would too. So I can't be fuming about it as such. But yeah, let's have a look at some of these confidence levels, because I'm intrigued where people are out. Because I can't say I couldn't put myself as high as an 8, but I probably couldn't put myself any lower than a 6.5. Do you know what I mean? I've got to be somewhere in that little nook, that little cranny, where I'm confident that we'll get the win. I'm not overly confident, but I'm certainly not scared. Do you know what I mean? It's got to be somewhere in the middle. Stephen, for example, has gone with a 5. AS has gone with an 8. Hammerhead, 7.5. 4, 8, 8, 7, 7.234 from Alex there. 8, 7, 8 from Robert Singleton, 7.5. Sorry, Jones gone with 7, and then I started reading Robert's. My brain just auto-clicked on. It's interesting. Yeah, probably, I mean, the average here is probably working out 3.14. You'll love to see it, HD, you could see. It's probably working out at a sort of about where I would be in general. You know what I mean? Riaz says, you can't put Phillips on if we are 10 up. He isn't. Listen, it's bad, Riaz, is all I'll say. It's difficult to make a case for him coming on at any point, which is a really tough thing to happen for someone who could be such a game changer. If something did click on his head and he stopped playing for Leeds under Marcelo Bielsa and started playing for West Ham under David Moyes, then he could be such a massive game changer for us. But it is what it is. But Riaz is saying league is dead for us. I disagree strongly. I think even if we lose here, I know Geo earlier, for example, was saying he's on the bench. He's on the bench. He's on the bench. If I know Geo earlier, for example, was saying if we lose this, then it's over. We have to win this to sort of continue our chase for European football. I think for me personally, I'm a little bit less definitive than that. I think we could lose this game and then solid 7, says Fred, and still make Europe. I think it's so tight that actually all we need is someone else to drop points and then we just jump back into it. I feel like it's too tight to be able to say this is a make or break. We obviously have a very hard run in, which makes it a much more pivotal game, if we're being honest about it. However, having said that, I don't think it's make or break, but I do think it would be making incredibly difficult for us if we do lose this, if we're being honest about it. Don't think it's make or break, but it would be incredibly difficult. We all know who he is. Roddy Pickering. Who? Roddy Pickering. Who? Who's that? Yeah, me. I love that bit. The yeah me bit is the best bit. It's my favourite bit. M Breezy, who is of course the best Football Manager streamer on Twitch. Not interested. You know, I'm not interested. You can take your Zealands, you can take your work the spaces, and you can watch them because they're good, but they're not M Breezy. All right, there's levels to this game. I'd be confident if our record at Wolf wasn't awful. Yeah, see, I was thinking about this as well, and then I thought about early. I think when I was doing the preview, I think did we beat them 3-0 earlier in the season? I think it's 3-0. Don't know why I've got 3-0 in my head. I think it was. That was playing on my mind maybe too much. And I was like, yeah. And then someone mentioned the record to me earlier, and I was like, oh, no. Rob Fingers is going with a 6. It's interesting. I think the average is about where I'm at as well, which I think is probably fair. Let's move on to those final score predictions then. We've spoken about both lineups. We've spoken about Gonzo's Warrior Cup. We've spoken about Geo's pen madness. We've spoken about the suspension, who's going to come on and when and why, and all these other things. So, in that sense, it's time to get off the fence. No more flipping, no more flopping, no more sitting on the fence. Get those predictions in the live chat, and we will lock them in. Oh, you know when you, I don't know, it's your funny bone or whatever just clicks in a weird way? Pain. I'll tell you what, if you asked him this, I'm telling you, he probably would say yes. He would say yes. Appreciate that, look. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. The others will be very happy about that. The others will be very happy about it. Steven's gone with 1-0 to the Irons. Rubber Fingers has gone for 1-1. Chuck, sir, good to see you. How are you? Hope you're well. Hope you're good. I don't know. I think you said you were back. I think you said you were back now, but I can't remember. If you're back, I hope you had a lovely time. If you're still out there, I hope you'll continue to have a lovely time. But I can't remember which. Might just be my 2 hours of sleep talking, but I can't remember which. Pickering in. Listen, I might try to swerve around the Moyes debate always, but if there was a choice between Pickering and Moyes, Pickering obviously in. HDU has gone with a 1-1 yawn. 3-1 to Irons has gone for Dean. Yusuf with 2-0. Ryan with 1-1. Stevens gone with 0-0. Breezy's gone with I think I'm wrong, but I think 3-1 to Wolves. Bed Sit Radio's gone with 3-0 to the Hammers. It is known that James Ward-Prowse will score today, says Digital. Maybe this is the free kick day. Maybe this is it. 2-0, 1-0, 2-0, 2-0. Bowen and the Mav 2-1, says Chuck 2-1. Jonathan, good to see you. Hope you well. Iron Age has gone with a cheeky Desmond 2-2. Iggy goes Pop is going for 1-1. All of them is the answer to that one, Major. All of the calamities. 2-1 going 4-1. Kudus will score first. 2-1. Whoop that trick. Let's go. I'll tell you what, when I had the Hall of Fame on last night, for Paul Heyman's speech specifically, I didn't watch the rest of it, I just heard Paul Heyman's bit. And when he mentioned Trick, big reaction from the crowd. You'd love to see it. 2-1. 4-1, says Joan. Wines Ings not getting the chance today with Antonio rested, said the bookies foe. I just don't think Moyes likes him, if I'm being honest. 2-1 Green Street Boys. I don't necessarily disagree with him either, but, you know, yeah. Logan 3-1, 2-0 to us. I'm going 6-0 to West Ham, though, says Riaz. Bold. Neil's going 3-1, 1-1, 2-1, 2-0, 1-1, 1-0, 3-1, 3-2. Sarabia first goal. Bowen brace. 2-1. The usual sweaty moments. 2-0 says Celtic or Celtic Hammer. I can't remember which one it's meant to be, and I apologise. Either way, ladies and gentlemen, we are a couple of minutes away from kickoff, and in that sense, I shall tell you about how to watch the game, because of course it is a Saturday 3 p.m. kickoff, which means it's not available in the United Kingdom. This stinks of a Souček goal. Stinks of it. But there are definitely ways you can watch it. You can be like me and fly over to the USA, of course. I'm in my holiday home in North Idaho. I saw Dean coming in next door recently, which is fun. Dean, if your area works, then feel free to send it to me. Otherwise, if you look down in the description below, there's a bit there called join our Discord. Lovely Hammers Chat West Ham community. Fans of all clubs are, of course, welcome. But more importantly, if you look on the left-hand side, there's a bit called Stream Links, in which you will find what you're looking for. It's West Ham United versus Wolves in the Premier League. It's a fairly big game. It's a fairly big game, and one that I don't know which way it would go. I'm fairly confident. I'm sticking to my 2-0 that I said on the preview show. I'm sticking to that with this, and I feel like I'm on point with it. However, having said that, if you told me this ended in a Wolves 1-0 win, I'd believe you. If you told me it would end in a more emphatic West Ham win, say a 3-0 or a 3-1 or something like that, I would also believe you. Very defensive lineup from Wolves. Cunha on the bench, for example. They have people who they could be putting on, but they're not. They've decided to go with all of the defenders they have gone. And we've decided to go with what we have. We move. T-Bone's gone with a 3-0. 3-1 says 2 onions. Right, I need to change this across to this for a start. So that's working. That's fun. That's good. Didn't do that last stream, so I need to remember to do that. There we go. NIITS fully coming through right now. Fully coming through. You'll love to see it. I'm skipping around, but we'll see how it ends up working out. I'll remember, Riaz. If it comes through, you will be the person I think of first. Or potentially the only person I think of, for being honest about him. Have a giveaway of James Ward-Prowse scores. Listen, if I had the power to do that, I 100% would. I unfortunately don't have the power to do that. But if I did, I would. Right before the end of the game, I'll say thank you to Johnny for this. Thank you very much for your super chat. I know you did it in the preview, in the build-up bit, but thank you anyway. And then, of course, Match Bingo, lovely app. It is our sponsor today. Great app where you do bingo football-wise. You can see, for example, an example of one of the bingo cards there for West Ham v Wolves. You know, for example, if West Ham do 2 subs, then that one gets ticked off. And then you just work your way through. You have 1 line gets you £25, 2 lines gets you 50, a full house gets you 100, and then there is the cheeky extra £100 bonus pot there. Match Bingo, link in the description below. Use that one if you're going to join. It's completely free to sign up. Only £2 per card. It is betting, of course. It is technically money involved, so make sure you're 18 plus because you can't do it otherwise. £2 card. Get involved if you can. Solid app. Geo's won. I haven't yet, which is annoying, but there we go. We are underway at the Molineux. Come on, you Irons. Deploy the boys. It's time to run to Tinks. Not yet, thankfully, which might be our saving grace right now, Reese. I can't lie to you. It might be our saving grace. But we'll have to see. Right, I want to see sort of how we're lining up. Try to figure it out. Kudus is starting on the left. Yeah, it is exactly how I thought it would be. So it is a 4-2-3-1 with James Ward-Prowse is in the 10 position, Paqueta starting on the left and Kudus on the right. It is sort of what I thought it would be. James Ward-Prowse pressing nicely. Can't quite get the ball off the Wolves player and they come away with it. But nice press early doors. Damn. Connor, good luck, my friend. Can everyone wish Connor a good luck in the chat if possible? Connor, good luck, bro. I'm sorry that you're having us accompany you. Could only imagine that stress. Last time I had an operation, I just listened to music. So I can't imagine the stress. But then again, I listen to mad music, so that might be more stress. So good luck, dude. And yeah, hopefully a hype result and not as much come cup talk potentially. Go for God. Right, Wolves passing it around. Jared Bowen looking to try and nip in. Oh, that was James Ward-Prowse with a nice press. Jared Bowen just sort of covering it nicely. That is the thing about James Ward-Prowse in the 10 position is he does press nicely. He does understand. He is just a 10. He has to. The thing is with James Ward-Prowse is he has to play in a 10 for us. Obviously, he doesn't play. This is the simple way of putting it for me. And I think that is his strongest position for us in the David Moyes system. So I can't be too annoyed about him playing it. It's a bit. I'd prefer it not to be that, but I'd prefer it to be. I prefer Mikel Antonio to start, obviously. But in reality, you know, it is what it is. Craig will come on and score their own goal. Listen. One can only dream. Gonna have to change that. The time will be paused for about. I'll fix it and it doesn't have to be paused. We're gonna have to. It's probably gonna change quite a few times during this. Yeah, it would work. It could work. Can't lie. One can only dream, Deckers. One can only dream. You know. I trustworthy. How are you? Grow my hair as fast as Kudus. Well, you know. Great point. That is something that you could. Oh, shot from range from Wolves. It was far away from It's far, far away. I'll tell you what, it was the chances of it ever going in from Aït-Nouri was long there, but a long range effort goes very high and over. Yeah, listen, I would highly recommend the mixes as well. Over on Mixcloud, you can find them at Dean R. Marsh on Twitter, sorry, X. Aït-Nouri cuts in from the right-hand side and then goes for it from range. I'll tell you what, it wasn't as far over as I thought it was initially, but it was over. It's going to be a very stop-starty film. I hate Saturday 3 p.m. are the worst. My screen is frozen in the most insane position for Aït-Nouri. Okay, it's back. It was like that. It was great. It was great. Big boot from Fabianski. Paqueta shifts his man away. Collects the ball. Okay, I thought I'd stop it and restart it, and that would speed up the process. It has done nothing but move it back even further. Bad times. Bad times. This is gonna be a long day. It's gonna be a long day. Vodka already? I wish. Is that true? I was looking up random non-league teams yesterday. One track didn't come into my mind. I don't know why I was. I was looking at non-league shirts specifically. I quite like the shirt of who is it? Was it Clapton Community Football Club? I can't remember which one it was. I think it was that one. Had quite a cool shirt. Sort of things I do in my spare time. Is the time alright? Honestly, it's been dropping in and out so much that it's kind of impossible to keep up with. I'm trying to as best I can, but it is a bit of a nightmare today. Saturday 3 p.m.s tend to be. Aït-Nouri playing it out wide to Semedo. Aït-Nouri, who's starting in the sort of 10 position on the right-hand side, enabling him to sort of cut inside. He has Semedo on the overlap. He passed the ball to him a while ago. There we go, right, we're back. He's got the ball. Semedo trying to dribble through West Ham, can't find the space. Aït-Nouri was standing out wide for him. He decides to go backwards under pressure from Emerson, Alvarez, Paqueta, defending as a unit there, and then force them back. St. Albans have a brilliant kit, have a good kit and brilliant sponsor. I'll have to look into that. It's going to be a long weekend. I'm really hoping that I can stay up for the show. I want to do a watch along for it tonight, right? And I'm really hoping I can stay awake from it. I have had 2 hours sleep though, so I don't know. We'll have to see. It might be a case of sleeping and then waking up and watching it after the fact or something. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But I've gotten more excited for it as days gone on. Appreciate it, Richard. Thank you. It'll be on my A-Top Mark channel, so we'll see. Who's winning the tag match? My gut says my thing is so far behind. I'm just trying to figure out if there's a better one right now. My gut says it will be the Bloodline will win it. For maximum chaos the night after. For the main. That's my bet. West Ham playing it around. Wolves in possession of the ball at the back. I'm so like the stream I'm watching is now so insanely far behind. Like this thing is just so inconsistent that I'm trying to find a new one. I do have it on, but I just cannot, for the life of me, watch it. So I'm trying to find a different one at the moment because it's is literally, at this point, almost 5 minutes behind. Because it's even further back than this, I'll be honest with you. We're at like 6 or ish. Thank you, Dean. Appreciate it. Wolves trying to find their way forward. They're not really successfully finding any sort of way forward right now. Wolves. Oh, we are in like Flynn. Thank you very much, Dean. Thank you very much. There we go. Watch how far forward I'm about to go. Bosh. Bosh. Corner from Wolves. Whipped in, headed away from West Ham. There we go. Now we're in. Now we're in. Now we're in. Laid short back. Whips back across the goal. Over the top of everyone, including Fabianski. And that goes out for a goal kick. We love to see it. We love to see it. I know. You'd think I was in a different time zone, Richard. You'd think I was in a different time zone. Rafa Panos picks up the ball. Lays it short to him and Soufal, getting a little bit confused. Was convinced that went off. And then gets pulled back slightly further back. Slightly further back. How's Danny doing? It's a good question. Danny, how you doing, my friend? He says he's very excited for later. Who do you think is going to win the tag match? He thinks The Rock is. Specifically, he said The Rock as well. Didn't say them. He said The Rock. Specifically. Sweaty, right. Wolves passing it around, looking for a little dink forward. Aït-Nouri being the most sort of he's getting the most impact in this game so far, it feels like. He's certainly getting opportunities left, right, and centre to sort of get on the ball at least. Wolves looking for him a lot of the time as opposed to anyone else. Not really figuring it out for him. Not really figuring out, not really happening, but he's at least getting the chances. Jarrod Bowen, nice pressure. Loses out for a throw into Wolves, but the pressure's nice. It's going to be interesting to see because, I mean, Wolves have so many people defending on the pitch, so many, that it becomes a very difficult question to counter-attack against it, right? But with West Ham, we're playing away under David Moyes. You would expect that kind of to be the case. But equally, if you just went full blast for it and tried to control the game, I don't know if you'd be able to either. It's going to be a case of, can we get our best player? Ooh, shot from range from James Ward-Prowse, deflects off one of the defenders. It's a bit of a risky chest down there from Alvarez to Paqueta, but it works out. But how that's going to end up working in the long run, I'm not entirely certain yet. We'll have to see. Emerson tries to flick the ball onto Alvarez, who's just ahead of him. He presses nice on Semedo. It ends up being a wall for him, but I like the pressing. It's going to be about how can we get, especially in this first half, can we get high turnovers, right? We're looking at the moment to press them, to harry them in when they're in possession deep. They don't really know how to deal with it right now. It's good pressing from us. Really nice pressing from us. Jarrod Bowen just chasing him down and nips the ball in. Nice high turnover. These are the opportunities. Pulls it across Souček. Oh, it's just underneath him. It was so close. That is the exact thing we were just talking about. The idea of getting those high turnovers and then trying to basically gegenpress our way into a goal. Soufal went flying in there. And it almost happened. Jarrod Bowen manages to nip the ball off Semedo in a really advanced position. I think it was Semedo. Yeah, it was. He comes in, presses him a bunch, nips the ball off him, and then fires it across, and it was perfect. It was just a bit behind Thomas Souček, just a tiny bit behind him, but underneath him at the same time. Such a good opportunity, and it goes wanting. It goes wanting. Stress. We say that. One, it wouldn't have been Mikel Antonio getting that opportunity anyway. He would have been the one trying to force it off instead of Jarrod Bowen. And two, would you see that Mikel Antonio chance the last game where he was 1v1 on a goalkeeper and just basically passed it to him? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Doyle lays it out wide to Doherty, who is starting at left wing back. Kudus getting in on Gomez does nicely, and then we come away with the ball. Nice play. Souček plays it forward. Kudus just does too much. Sarabia gets a shot from range because of it, a high turnover because Kudus decided to try and dribble through everyone. He's a bit Paqueta-like in that sense, you know. When he does stuff and it works, it's beautiful. But sometimes he does stuff and you're like, man, if you did something simple, we wouldn't have lost the ball in those scenarios. But there we go, we move. Semedo, ooh, it was a nice idea from I think it was Geo Gonzo. Tried to just like first time, it was Sarabia actually, tries to just first time touch his way in. Sarabia, bit pathetic, I'm not gonna lie about it, but there we go, it is what it is. Ball comes into him, he opens up his body, plays it through. It was a nice idea. It doesn't quite work out for Geo Gonzo to get on the end of it, but goes down under pressure from Mavropanos. A little bit delayed, starts rolling around on the floor, screaming, banging the floor like this, and eventually he doesn't get a free kick and he goes, ref, what are we talking about here? And I'm like, well, sorry, I thought you just broke your ankle a second ago. Still. 3-1 West Ham says GoPro. Dr. Luke's meant. Did they release a new trailer for that? Am I crazy? Because if they did, I have not seen it. But I'm sure I logged on to like... I'm sure I went on iPlayer like to watch... I'm rewatching Spooks for some reason. I don't know. Don't ask questions. And I'm pretty certain that I saw Doctor Who trailer as like one of the top things. And I was like, was there a new one? I just didn't bother clicking on it. Mavropanos take the free kick deep in West Ham's territory. Dinked forward into Kudus, who does well to keep control of the ball, but again, he just lacks a little bit on the ball, but manages to get in nicely, win that one back. You love to see it. That's good work from Kudus. Loses out, but then instantly fights back to win the ball and keeps possession nicely there. Paqueta goes down. No free kick. It's going to be a throw-in. Probably correct if we're being honest about it. Yeah, there's two trailers. Okay, well, I'll be watching those straight after this. We're meant to be going out, so I don't know if I have time. Well, we'll see. Wolves passing it around. Yes, I don't know if I'm going to be awake for Mania tonight, which is disappointing. I want to be, and if I am, you'll see a live stream on A-Top Mark, but I don't know if I'm going to be awake. We'll have to see. Are you going to the Leverkusen match at the London Stadium? I'm not. I'll be doing the watch along. We do actually have a Hammers Chat event. I don't know if it's sold out yet. I haven't actually checked. But we do have a Hammers Chat live event. The first ever Hammers Chat live show happening on Thursday at the Colour Factory. Tickets are available to Patreons. If you're a Patreon, make sure to go check that because they are available there currently. To patrons first. I don't know if it's going to sell out or sell out before it goes public or whatever. But very similar to the live show we did for the Europa Conference League final last season, or so you have the live screen, watch along and everything, but Geo and Gonzo are also going to be doing a live sort of build-up thing beforehand, which is insane. I'm not going to be there. I think I'm probably going to end up doing the watch along and build up and review here. I think it's the way it's going to end up working out. But yeah, so I'm not going to be there. Actually, we're away first leg, so all of that doesn't matter. That was all promo for something else, a different question. Am I going to the Leverkusen match at London Stadium? No, I'm not anyway. But, you know, there we go. Bringing out the big glass tonight. That's what we want to see. I can't help but think someone else could be doing exactly what James Ward-Prowse is doing more effectively at the moment. Don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you, Callum. I probably agree with you there. I'm not going to lie. Geo Gonzo trying to dribble his way through, but nice pressure. James Ward-Prowse is the one who picks up the ball, finds Kudus. Not got a lot of space, ends up playing it in with his right foot, but it's over the top of everyone, too far ahead. No one can get there. It's going to be a Wolves throw on the opposite side of the pitch in the corner quadrant. It was good pressing from Souček, Alvarez, and James Ward-Prowse. James Ward-Prowse, the one who ends up nipping the ball away and getting it to Mohammed Kudus. Two people on him very quickly. You've got Doherty and don't know who the other person was. Maybe Gomez on him quite quickly to try and stop him being able to cut inside or really do anything. He's forced to go a little bit closer to the touchline, whips it in with his weak foot, goes over the top of everyone. West Ham reassess and go again. Soufal, short to Kudus, tries to play in Souček, who tries to flick it in, can't. Soufal goes down, free kick to West Ham on the right-hand side near the halfway line. I miss Pablito. Yeah, I do every single time. First 15 minutes, we had 4% possession. Yes, 80% now, as Anthony said. I just saw that pop out. So you got 20% currently, which isn't necessarily shocking. My sleep, I'm for like since mid-December, I've been in big insomnia vibes. I've been just like struggling massively. So today I've had like 2 hours sleep. I fell asleep about 11:30, woke up 1:30. And I'm waking up like yesterday. I woke up at 6 p.m. and stuff. So I'm sort of all over the shop. I don't know what's happening. We were planning on going out. There's an event tonight that we were planning on going to. Whether or not we end up actually going is a different question. I don't know. We'll see. And then come back and then eat and then mania. So we'll see. Paqueta tries to flick it onto Emerson. Playing it between themselves nicely right now. It's nice to see Emerson getting involved in those sort of areas again in a way he can't do when it's not Paqueta. Or a way he doesn't have to when it's not Paqueta. You know, when it's Kudus or someone else, there is a sort of an interesting position for Emerson to pick up on, or for other players to pick up on, depending on who's in there. And when it's Paqueta, you know, Paqueta likes to drop in deep, likes to link up, and Emerson really thrives on that stuff, which is nice. I was trying to recycle possession through the goalkeeper, Fabianski, with a big ball forward, looking for Jared Bowen. It was good work from Lucas Paqueta to try and keep it in. Just can't quite manage it. Panda, if you're looking for ways to watch it, there are definitely ways you can do it. My dog hit my nuts. Sorry, GoPro. I'm sorry, man. I have not seen... I tell you what, I have not seen Iron Claw yet. I've been desperate to go. I think it's probably out cinemas now, which is annoying, but I will watch it at some point. Gonzo saw it and was very high on it. Very, very high on it. I obviously know the story, but yeah, he was very high on it. Oh, Semedo managed to keep that one amazingly. Jesus Christ. Fair play to Semedo. Pure pace, and Sarabia with a great opportunity. I mean, it probably was a bit too close to Fabianski, who ends up smothering it out, and West Ham can try and hit on the counter-attack. It's good battling there. Good battling from I think it was Gomez. But yeah, insane from Semedo. Kudus tried to get onto the end of it, just can't quite get the control, and it's going to end up dribble through to Wolves. Wolves goalkeeper. I really want to see Iron Claw, though. I need to see it at some point. Like, let me see while we're here. While Wolves are passing it around at the back. Is Iron Claw still on? In any of the cinemas near me? Ooh. Okay, I can see at least one screening. I might go cinema watch this week. I don't know. We'll have to see. Well, we'll have to see. Alvarez passes it to Zuma. Is Antonio on the bench? He is, Billy. He is. Rafa Panis looking to play it forwards. Just a big boot. Cut out very easy from Wolves there. Nice pressing from Thomas Souček. Wolves trying to pass their way out of trouble. And I tell you what, they've done it nicely this time. They've struggled a little bit so far with that, but they've done it nicely this time. Wolves, Ayat Nouri just charging further and further forward. They're looking for a shot from range. And I tell you what, Curtis has followed him and then stopped it nicely. Well done from Ayat Nouri. I mean, he just ran in a straight line and carried on doing it. But Curtis kept on him nicely, just somehow managed to keep up with him. Ayat Nouri slowing down slightly, and it was a good tackle there, just stopping him from going forward. Nicely done. Very nicely done. They've been playing dangerously, Wolves at the back, and it's benefited us more than it has benefited them, I would say. But that was a good example of them being able to play out of the press, which is not something we've seen very often, and getting forward. If there was more options for Ayat Nouri, probably should have let it go earlier, maybe. Whipped in, headed away from Mavropanos. Ayat Nouri looking for a shot from range, doesn't quite happen. Wolves got control inside the area, looking for something. Doyle hits it. I tell you what, it's a good save from Fabianski, and somehow we managed to get the ball away to Mohammed Kudus, who Wins a free kick. We'll take that. We'll take that free kick. We'll take that free kick. This game should cure your insomnia. I don't want to sleep during the middle of the day. 3 o'clock is a bad time to fall asleep. I'm already basically sleeping all of the day. My vitamin D is at an all-time low right now. I'm constantly got a cold. It's stress. Oh, yes. Yes, we get the sequel. Let's go. Let's go. Is it? I assume we're talking a sequel to the original video, because if we are, I'm very excited for that. Very excited for that. Damien, I think you're. I can't lie. I don't think we were ever quite Real Madrid. I'll be honest with you. Ain't looking good, bruv. Ain't looking good. I can't act like we were ever Real Madrid. Let's be honest for it. Let's be honest here. Paqueta looking to try and play it forward. Doesn't quite work out. It's going to be a thrown to us. Deflects off the man marking him. I think it might be an Ainori. Emerson to take the throw. It's good West. This is some good West Ham throw. Look at this. Look at this. No one showing for it. No one moving around. James Ward-Prowse does it. There we go. Go on, James. Good work. JWP there, ladies and gentlemen. Why no one else was showing for the ball? Everyone was just sort of standing there watching people be in the way of getting a throw in. What are we doing? Why are we so bad at throwing? Alvarez plays it to Mavropanos. Back to Alvarez. West Ham playing it around. Oh, Fabianski. He's twining it. Fabianski. I tell you what, Wolves getting involved in the press quite nicely there. And you could see Sarabia calling people forward to try and get involved, and they were cutting off the passing lane well there. And Fabianski, at one point, I was quite happy to go, oh, he's turned him there. And then he sort of turned back again, and he was panicking, bless him. He was pure panic. If he gets to the ball, Wolves are passing around outside the area at the moment, by the way. If looking for the big dink cross. Doherty nods it back across for Sarabia, whose volley was somehow kept in by, I don't know who it was at the far side, but somehow keeps it in. Semedo lays it back to Geo Gonzo with the shot from range. Sarabia there, going for a volley. Going for the volley. And under pressure from Mavropanos, it's so bad it almost went out for a corner kick type vibe. But yeah, just re-looking at that Fabianski, he turns in relatively well for a goalkeeper, and then for some reason just carries on turning, just keeps going round and round and round. Terrifying, terrifying. I assume you're talking to me, and if you are, I apologise. I don't wish to annoy anyone. I don't wish to annoy anyone. And if someone else is annoying you, I will apologise for you on their behalf, because I don't wish anyone to be annoyed. Don't wish anyone to be annoyed. Been a bit of rotation up front at this point. You've got Kudus now sort of in that central position with Bowen out wide. Whether this is a momentary cover or whether this is a permanent change, we'll have a look. But those two have switched around. I would be tempted by Paqueta up front. I mean, it would nullify Emerson quite a lot. But I would be tempted by Paqueta up front, Kudus on the left, Bowen on the right. That would be my vibe, but not that I would necessarily think it would change everything or work massively, but you know. Look at him. He is enthralled. Have you ever seen a man so enthralled by what he's watching? Look at that. He is loving life. That is a guy who is loving a bit of this game. He's living for it. My expression somewhat different. Ooh, first glitch of this one. Of the North Idaho team. No. Shot from range, bounces over. I'll be honest with you, we've been so bad at throw-ins for such a long time. Pre-Moyes, post-Moyes, it'll be post-Moyes. We're just awful at it. We're just so bad at it. It's incredible. Don't mind resting Antonio, but why can't Ings be swapped? It's the same reason why Ings didn't get the game time when Antonio wasn't even fit and wasn't even in the squad. You know, he just doesn't fit the system, and let's be real, he never will. He will always, at West Ham under David Moyes, he'll always be destined to be a guy who sits on the bench and who comes on as a last resort when it doesn't make sense anyway. And at some point he'll leave, but you know, it's sort of just where he's at now, isn't it? Which is a shame for him, but realistically. One shot from us, 8 from Wolves so far. Stress. Doyle on the ball on the left-hand side. Tries to play it inwards. Aït-Nouri's charging in. Emerson steams across and takes him down, and the referee points to the spot. A penalty given for Wolves. Emerson claiming it shouldn't have been one. I guess we'll see in the replay. It looked relatively good from Emerson from far away, but okay, let's have a look again. Big ball over the top. Little dink down from Aït-Nouri does well. Afropana's caught out a little bit. Tommy Doyle ends up playing into Aït-Nouri there. Yeah, maybe it is. Maybe it actually is a penalty. Yeah, he doesn't even get Emerson. It's bad. It's a clear pen. It's a clear pen. He goes to try and reach for it with a slide tackle, completely misses it, and then his trailing leg comes through and trips over Aït-Nouri and goes down. It's about as easy a pen as you're going to give, to be honest. I couldn't see it at first because of the way the camera angle was. But yeah, Emerson's given away a penalty there. He's got a yellow card for his trouble as well. His trailing, he dives in like this to try and knock it through, and then his trailing leg comes through and ends up tripping over Aït-Nouri. Apparently VAR are checking something else. Who knows what, but they're checking something else apparently. Maybe an offside, maybe something like that. I don't know. Yeah, it's confirmed a foul from VAR, but they're just checking if there's an offside. Okay, penalty confirmed. Okay, right. Penalty, come on. Fabianski's better at saving pens than Areola is. So in that sense, please hope, dear God, Sarabia's going to be the one to take it. Scored 4 out of his last 5 penalties. Most of them relatively down the middle. The one who didn't go down the middle, he missed. Come on, Fab. Come on. Would love it if you saved this. Sarabia! Posting in. Wolves 1-0 up. It's a great penalty, to be fair. He hits it in the exact same place where he missed the previous penalty, but it's goes posting in. There's not much Fabianski could have done about that one, to be fair. It's a really good penalty. Placed perfectly towards the bottom corner. Posting in. Really nice pen, to be fair. Is what it is. 1-0 Wolves. 1-0 Wolves. Not really much you could do about that. Yeah, Fabianski gets us the right way, but I mean that's a perfect penalty. That really is. You can't say anything else about it. Power's good. He puts it right in that bottom corner, the hardest place for it to be saved, arguably. Posting in. It couldn't have been any further to the right if possible. It is what it is. Makes sense, right? Makes sense. Not much you can say about that. It's an obvious penalty from Emerson, given away unfortunately in the end, and yeah, Big pick. Those long balls just aren't quite working out for us. I don't know. We should probably stop trying them. But then Wolves are pressing well enough to force us into this. It's a good performance from Wolves. The more I talk about it, the more I think about it. It's a good performance from Wolves. They're pressing relatively nicely and then forcing us into those. They're basically doing a West Ham. They're playing Moyes ball on us, essentially. It's very Moyes ball, and it's working out perfectly for them. And it's a classic. This is a classic game. This is a classic David Moyes at West Ham game where team up and Moyes balling against us, and we don't know how to. We just can't deal with it. Just the way it is. It's the way it always is. We've gotten better at it this season, a lot better at it. We've gotten better at it as the years have gone on, but this feels like a very classic one of those performances where a team sits deep against us and does exactly what we want to do to opposition teams, and we struggle to break it down, unfortunately. And their counter-attack's good. Nori getting forward well, Sarabia getting involved, even though I don't think he's a lot of what he's doing is paying off. He's doing a lot. Yeah. Souček gets involved there, manages to sort of hook it away with his foot. Kudus on the ball on the left-hand side, whips it in. That's a great ball. Paqueta just a little bit ahead of him, tries to get on a second bounce and then on a third, and it's collected in the end from Jose Sarr. Just checking the match bingo. It's a good ball in from Kudus, who found himself out wide on that left-hand side and came very, very close. Good takeaway. What subs do we have today? Ross, that's a good question. We have Anang, Johnson, Ogbonna, Aged, Cresswell, whipped in from the corner, resulting corner, headed away from Wolves. Phillips, Cornet, Ings, and Antonio. Right, Nori plays it to Doyle. Finds Sarabia, looking to try and whip it into space. And I tell you what, there's so much space there for Geo Gonzo. How was there that much space? How was there that much space? Mavropanos following Doherty very far out. That ends up playing on Geo Gonzo onside as well. It's very Moyes ball. They sit deep. They sit deep. They compact. They pack out the area, stop us from getting forward, and then they hit us on the counter attack. And then when they manage to force us back, they press us. It's exactly what we do to other teams. It's almost exactly the same. It's almost exactly the same as what we do to other things. It's the way it goes. We can't deal with it. If teams try to do it to us, we can never deal with it. It's just about whether they can do it well. And Wolves right now are doing it really well. The Wolves are doing it really well. That's the way it goes, isn't it? Crazy, innit? Crazy. Crazy, innit? Alvarez trying to dribble his way forward and bounces off Lamina, but it comes away with the ball regardless. Kudus now, who's out wide on the left-hand side, looks to try and cut inside and shoot with his weak foot for some reason. Laid out by Sofal wide to Jared Bone, who's taken up position on the right, and Paqueta has gone up front like we spoke about earlier. Wolves passing it around at the back. Ping forward, James Ward-Prowse does well to stop that one from getting forward. Well done from James Ward-Prowse there. He jumps up. It's not really his game. That was a more Thomas Souček-y thing to do, but he does well. See, James Ward-Prowse, I like that from James Ward-Prowse. Just getting involved, but you can see him dictating play a little bit. It's something I would have thought could have... It's a foul against him. I'm not really sure how, but it is. I like that from James Ward-Prowse. It's something I haven't seen enough of. Just a lot of that sort of getting on the ball, sort of calming it down. I like that idea. It's something I would have expected a lot more from him when he joined, and he's not. It's poor from Alvarez. I've not really seen him do it at all. Sorry, it wasn't Alvarez, it was Paqueta. It was poor from Paqueta. But I like that. He's picked up the ball again here, wide on the left-hand side after the pass from Thomas Souček. He's got Kudus just ahead of him on the overlap. Kudus in that corner quadrant now on the ball. Tries to whip it in on his weak foot. again, that's not really position you want. You don't really want Kudus in those positions. If he is playing on the left, you don't really want him that far forward into the corner quadrant. You want him picking it up deeper and allowed to sort of run with it. But they've done their due diligence in terms of what foot to put people on. And I'll be honest, and I'll be honest with you, Kudus, they've sort of done a job on so far today. Every time he's got the ball and they managed to do something, every time he's got the ball, they've managed to defend in the correct way. They've either shifted him onto the right, shifted him onto his right foot and put him in positions he doesn't like being, pushed him into awkward areas. Like, they've done a really good job on Kudus today, defensively. I mean, they've done a really good job defensively in general, but on Kudus specifically, they really have. Because he does have that ability to swip through and wiggle through and all that sort of stuff. Wiggle? That's not a word. Said it now. But yeah, that sort of stuff's working for him. Subscribe to SCW first of all. If you're a Mania person like me, if you're looking forward to Mania today, SCW is going to be one of the best places to go. My dude Steve, absolute banging videos. And I'm excited to see your thoughts on the whole thing, Steve. But yeah, I think realistically, look, Wolves are doing perfectly right now. Every time what Wolves are doing right now is perfect. They're playing it to perfection. Paqueta has managed to get him around the back here of a mistake, and this is the point I'm going to make: is they have to carry. Paqueta just goes down so easily. That's really annoying. They have to continue doing this to perfection for the entire game. If they get beyond themselves at all, which I'm confident they won't do, then it won't benefit them. So they have to keep doing this for the entire game, and there's no more levels for Wolves to step up through. You know what I mean? Like, they are playing at their pinnacle right now, whereas we are basically non-existent. So we have so many levels to jump up. Again, I think this is the problem with not starting Antonio. It's like, it was a risk potentially worth taking, but it puts us in a position where we have to do a lot right now, and we're struggling to really break Wolves down at all. And part of that is just, slightly less people in those positions to really break teams down or whatever. But Wolves are going to need to continue to do this to perfection, because if they move their line slightly higher, then Paqueta could play a nice ball in behind. Kudus can start sprinting through. Jared Bowen, really good at those line breaking runs, stuff like that. If they find themselves in a little bit of a pickle and they don't manage to contain Kudus in the way they have done so far today, then all of a sudden Kudus is going to be free one-on-one. There's a lot of different bits and pieces here which Wolves are doing perfectly right now that they're going to have to continuously do perfect. The problem is you have to ask yourself from a West Ham perspective, Wolves into the box, going to get a shot from range here, straight into the hands of Fabianski. Thank you very much. There's going to have to be a point. There's going to have to be a point for us where we start having to make decisions for the Leverkusen game on Thursday, and that's going to be somewhat of a problem for us, because it's like, do we carry on? Do we commit to this game, or do we at some point go, right? We need to let's conserve people for Thursday, and so the longer this goes on, the worse it is for us in that sense. So Leonardo says, I disagree, Charlie. They're playing average, and us playing wank makes them look better. And for you to believe it, they are playing their left back at right wing, Charlie. Come on. Just because they're playing at their best doesn't mean what they're playing is particularly great. I'm not sitting here saying that Wolves have been outstanding. I think they've been good. They've defended really well, and they've counter-attacked effectively. I'm not saying that this is some like unbelievable game-changing, what a performance, this is unreal, blah 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 blah. Yeah, a little bit of afters there. I missed that originally. A little bit of afters on the floor there. We get a free kick. I'm not really sure. Not really sure what Gomez was angry about there with Alvarez. He picks up a yellow card for afters. Yeah, I'm not saying it's some unbelievable performance from Wolves, but they're defending really well. They're pressing relatively well. Their counter attack is effective. It's working out for them. But that's what I'm saying. They don't have any more levels to go up, whereas I think we have a whole bunch of levels to go up. You know what I mean? We're playing actively very badly. We're playing actively very badly. None of our front line are playing well. None of our defenders are doing particularly very well. Huge handball shouts against Alvarez in the center. I don't think it was a VAR. I don't think it was a it will go to VAR. I don't think it was a handball for a penalty there. His arms were behind his back. There's no way that's a penalty. There's literally, yeah, check complete, no pen. There was no way that was a penalty, and there was no way in 100 years that was a penalty. It was perfect from Alvarez. Perfect. But yeah, they've just it's a classic example. If you play Moyes ball against us, we struggle against it. It's just the way it's the way it's always been, and probably will be the way it always is. The times in which Kudus does really well there, but again, he's I tell you what, he's just done really. He's just completely outdone him today. They've just completely outdone Kudus today. They every time he gets the ball, there's two people on him instantaneously, and he did well to shift that one onto his stronger foot. And then Semedo comes in, just sort of barges him down to the floor. It's just well done. It's just well done. Could have been a free kick, but at this point, I don't understand what 50-50s are, so I can't really. After the last couple of games, I've given up on deciding whether or not something is 50-50 at this point, so. You know. Do you know what I mean? This is kind of where I'm at. It's like that feels like a barge to me, but at this point, I've sort of just given up. I've sort of just given up on the whole idea of 50-50s and what barges are and all this other sort of stuff. I don't understand it anymore, so I just give up. Well, who cares? Who cares? Aït-Nouri's done really well today, by the way. He's just skipped past his man. They play very different. They play very different styles, to be fair. They play very different styles. Like, don't get me wrong, yes, and I'm terrified for Leverkusen. I think they're going to beat us. There's nothing in me that says. I think if we come out and everyone's on it, Aït-Nouri's playing so well today. By the way, he's just skipping past people left, right, and center, and that's an easy foul against Epsom. But yeah, I think they're going to beat us. But they are very different. They are very different 3/5s at the back. So, free kick in a fairly decent position for Wolves. You're talking about 20 yards, 25 yards away. It's relatively central as well. It's kind of perfect free kick position in a lot of ways, if we're being honest about it. Tommy Doyle standing over it alongside Sarabia. One of them's going to hit it. It looks like it's going to be Sarabia, who hits it up and over straight into the hands of Fabianski. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Come back from the replaying. Soufal is being pressured by two Wolves players. Instantly, they've got a throw in. I don't know, man. I don't know. Good tackle from Alvarez. It's going to be a throw on. Going to be throw into Wolves in the corner quadrant on the left-hand side. Is anyone above a 3 out of 10 so far? Says Sam. No. Bell time September. I don't have any bells. I forgot to get some when I went to the shop yesterday. Bad times for us. Bad times for us. They'll be back in stock for Leverkusen, but for today we're out. 2 minutes of stoppage time over. 1-0 at half time for Wolves. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what to say, really. I don't know what to say, really. We've had 2 shots. They've had 11. I mean, realistically, how do we even begin to talk about that? So there's a couple things to say, right? The first thing to say is that they're doing their job absolutely perfectly. Wolves, I think you need to give them credit. I know from a West Ham perspective, we're going to want to talk about how atrocious West Ham have been, and I think they have been very poor. Let's be real about it. But I think just to give the credit where credit is due to some extent, I think they've done their jobs perfectly. They've done really well. I think this is Wolves at their pinnacle right now. The way they are playing, sitting deep, packing it out, getting people back, defending well, playing out relatively well. earlier on, we were able to press them, trying to play out from the back quite nicely. That's only dropped off as the game's gone on. We're no longer really even doing that, and they're able to get the ball forward relatively quickly, and they've counterattacked relatively well. They've done a really, really good job of doing what we want to do against opposition teams to us, and I think that should be said before anything else. After that, however, I mean, we've just been woeful. There's just nothing to say. Almost every player on the pitch has been crap. I can't really pick out any of them and go, they're looking on it. None of them. I mean, and part of that is Wolves. I think, like, for example, Kudus, I think they've defended perfectly against him. Every time he gets the ball, there's two people around him forcing him into positions he doesn't want to go in, forcing him onto his right foot. Doesn't matter whether he's playing on the right, whether he's playing on the left, whether he's playing down the middle. They've done that perfectly. But at the same time, it's just performance levels just aren't there, Geo.
Yeah, pathetic from the manager, pathetic from the players. The only positive is it's only 1-0 and we can get into the game second half, but there's just absolutely nothing to be happy about. I think Fabianski's done well. There's a couple of good saves from him. I think Mavropanos and Zuno have done okay. That's it.
I think Mavropanos has done okay, but like these long balls, and it's partly because Wolves, and again, it's partly because Wolves are pressing well and doing their pressing side of their job really well. But he's just constantly looking for these out balls, which is not something I would want from him specifically. Zuma just constantly booting the ball long. Sure, I understand that it's Kurt Zuma. I'm not expecting Kurt Zuma to be able to play the ball out in a calm manner. I'm expecting him to just hoof it, right? Whereas him, I want to see a little bit more of it, and it's just these long balls just aren't working. Because
I think that's the least
long
of our
balls out
concerns, Charlie. I think Mavropanos' long balls are the least of our concerns today. Sufal's incapable of doing a 4-yard pass today. He literally just played out for a throw in right back. Emerson, you feel like is a walking red card now. Every time I knew he picks the ball up. Paqueta's crap. He's been the worst player on the pitch today, to be honest with you. I think Paqueta's just been absolutely awful. Walking around, doesn't look interested. When he gets the ball, he's been knocked off the ball on every single occasion.
Yeah.
Bowen barely got into it. Kudus has tried. He's the one player I look at. I think something might come from him because he does actually look like he's trying to do something. Alvarez, Souček, Ward-Prowse all strewn around the middle of the pitch. There's just no desire from our side whatsoever. This is a patched up Wolves side. They look like a side that's been put together over years. They're taking the piss out of us out there. If they had Cunha and Neto available, they'd be 2-3 up by now. It's just the fact that they are missing a lot of their attacking talent. But it's still only 1-0. This is absolutely pathetic from us, to be honest with you. The manager made a big call with the Antonio rotation before the game. Most people thought it was the wrong thing to do. I would suggest most people have just been proven correct after that 45 minutes.
Here's the thing with the Antonio thing. I really don't care at this point. Here's the thing, right? Because he's going to have done it at some point, and I understand why he did it. My point, I think my point with the whole thing is when Antonio wasn't fit, we would look at this lineup and say this is the strongest 11 possible. Well, strongest 10. People can make an argument about Fabianski and Areola, right? So let's just cross that one off. You would say it's the strongest 10 possible. And when Paqueta was out, we would say that was it was done. So I don't want to sit here and act like now, if Antonio's not in the side, it's done. Because we've seen this 11 do it. We've seen this 10 do it before. I don't think the excuse here is that Antonio. Look, Antonio obviously makes us better, and Antonio being outside makes us worse. But I think it is. I think it's too much of. I think it's too easy and almost an excuse to say, "Oh well, Antonio's the problem here," or like we've been proved right because Antonio's at starting. Blah 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 blah. Like I think that's too easy. I look at it and I say, well, Paqueta's not playing well. Like all the things you just said, right? I don't need to relist them again. You just listed it out perfectly. All the things you said, I basically 100% agree with, right? In terms of these players. If Antonio's in that side, it doesn't change that. They're still doing absolute crap. I think that's part of the problem here. I look at it and I think I
get what you're saying, but it's just I get what you're saying, Charlie. But it's 45 minutes in. We've tried all three players up front. Bowen started up front. Kudus went up front.
I agree. I 100% agree with you.
That when you have to do now, I quite like a fluid front three or players that move around and stuff, but we never do it. We haven't decided. You know what, you three, just go where you want today. You just take turns and stuff. That's not an instruction. It's the fact that Bowen's not working. Oh, let's put Kudus up. Oh, that's not working. Oh, let's try Paqueta. We've now tried 3 different strikers in the space of 45 minutes. None of them are working. because
Sure.
they're all trying to basically saying,
But
can
I
you
would
do what
also-
Mikel Antonio does, please? Hey, oh, shock horror, it ain't working.
You-
I know what
and-
you're saying, but
No, and you know from experience, because we've done enough of these shows, that I 100% agree with you. For example, when Skamaka was here, when Haller was here, and I'm watching him tell them to do the Antonio thing, I'm just like, that's never going to work. I don't understand the point of us even trying this. It's never going to work. What I would say is the rotation isn't just about who's up front as well. It's about trying to get the ball forward, and a lot of that is about who's out wide, because we play David Moyes teams play like that, right? Go out to go in. That's the way it happens, right? And so if you're going out, the first port of call is who are those people receiving the balls, and the problem is they aren't receiving them either. So again, Mikel Antonio might help it a bit, but it's not gonna completely change everything in that sense. And that's my problem here. Is I don't want to get into a position where we're just all going Antonio, because the truth is, the team as a whole just have not been good enough. And Antonio's not going to all of a sudden make Paqueta play well. He's not going to all of a sudden make them stop defending Kudus. It's not going to stop making Kudus, because even Kudus, like, he's taking too long on the ball. Like, I agree with you, for example, what you said. Like, he's someone who's at least getting on the ball and trying things. 100% agree with that. But he's taking too long on it all of the time. He's some of his decision making, like sometimes it's a bit like Paqueta, right? Where there's always this criticism of Paqueta. He takes too long on the ball. He's going to lose out on the ball these times. He does the same thing where I'm like, just play the ball, man. Just play the ball sometimes. That's all you need to do.
Yeah, but a lot of that comes down to the fact Antonio's not there. There was only a handful. How many crosses did Kudus put in the first half that came to nothing? Because there's no fucker in the box, because we don't have a striker. At least Antonio would be there.
I don't disagree with you, but that's not going to change it when he's on the halfway line or when he's in his own half trying to dribble his way past three people. How often
does our defence clear it or whatever, and Antonio's the one?
No, that's the bit I 100% agree. No, that's the point I 100% agree with you with. And
it will change stuff then if Antonio.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is it's not going to change everything. It's not going to make Paqueta play well. Antonio being on the pitch won't change that.
When literally nothing is working, some things are getting better is better than what we're at. That first half, there was nothing. We could barely string passes together. The players looked disinterested. And I agree that the players' performances in the first half is not acceptable. It's not all on the fact that Antonio hasn't played. But at the very start, you spoke about Mavropanos' long ball. His long balls would probably be better with Antonio to aim for rather than Jared Bowen up against Max fucking Gilman. A lot of players' performances will improve by having Mikel Antonio at the spearhead of our attack. It's just why he's not done it. I don't know. But all we have to do is go back a week ago when we were 3-1 up against Newcastle, took Antonio off and everything went wrong. He's decided, I know what I'll do. That last 20-minute team where we conceded 3 goals, I'm going to play a similar team against Wolves. That will work, won't it? No, it fucking won't. We've done well this season to be in a position we are without Mikel Antonio, but since he's come back, the performances of the side has gone up rapidly. A lot of the players have got better. Not all of them, but a lot of them have got better. Paqueta has been looking good in number 10. Bowen's been looking good on the right. So what do? We decide to stick Bowen up front and put Paqueta back out on the left-hand side. It's just ridiculous. It's just poor from anyway. You better go piss. Otherwise,
it's what it is, Geo. It's January. I don't want to keep going back. I hate having to relitigate it every single time, but it's January. Anyway, I'll see you in a sec.
Right, while Charlie's away for a piddle, let me see what you're all saying. Tim says, until we change our midfield up, we're doomed. We lack any creativity or class on the ball. Ultra said, this is why Moyes is tactically inept. Only a certain type of players can work in this horrible system. And even then, it doesn't work all the time. Rick says, Paqueta doesn't seem to know where he's supposed to be playing. I think he's had about 2 or 3 different positions in the first half, to be fair. It's not just him, it's everybody else. Scott says players have been running to the ground, but also the tactics are shite like they always are. Hackwell says the players look leggy and not motivated. Mentality lacking, total shite. Can't stomach this next season. Johnny saying this is where the pundits should be having a look and see why some West Ham fans aren't keen on David Moyes. Sam says Antonio on would give Kudus space, as right now he's getting double marked. I agree with that completely. He's got to be. He's got to come on for James Ward-Prowse at half time. He absolutely has to come on for James Ward-Prowse. Howard Down Under said Antonio will occupy Wolves as defenders, giving others space. David says it shouldn't be about Antonio, it's Moyes 100%. He slotted in Ward-Prowse like he did Phillips when he has Corneo Ings to use as diabolical management. Stephen says Antonio is the focal point and gives balance to the team. Gary says, just remember the most important thing for us fans is not to hurt Moyes' feelings by booing or criticising. We have to keep our priorities straight. That's tongue-in-cheek from Gary there, in case anybody we get riled up by him. It's tongue-in-cheek. Well, I assume it is. Gary, correct me if I'm wrong. I assume there's a bit of sarcasm in that comment there. And he said, pathetic display from top to bottom. Exactly what I expected when the starting lineup was announced against a weakened Wolves side. Soma says, I struggle to understand how we are this crap. Wolves are also crap, but still winning. Leo says the only way we get back into this game is we match them up and go 3-4-3. If we match up, our class will show. Brad said, this is why Moyes must go. European football or not. I cannot watch another season of this. Robert says, Moyes never learns. He's like an addict that cannot quit. Always the same rubbish tactics and player positions. Hammer 99 says, atrocious. Wish it was full-time already. There's so much space for them to exploit with their zero striker. Embarrassing. I agree with that one. I completely agree with that. I knew that he's just taking the piss out of our team here. Our left wing back is playing like Messi. Stevie says, WOLWHU isn't even a passenger. He's worse. When Paqueta gets shoved off the ball, you know we're in for a long afternoon. He looks completely uninterested. Paqueta, I think, should be the in terms of, well, actually, Michael says this. What would I change? It's just WOLWHU for Antonio. Honestly, go back to what's been working for the last few weeks, which is Antonio up front, Paqueta on the 10, Kudus on the left, Bourne on the right, and let's have a go. Kudus rinsed Totti at the London Stadium. He's not got anywhere near him in the first half. And I think, by the way, I think Paqueta's been our worst player in the first half. I think he's been the worst player. But I wouldn't take him off because he's capable of going on and doing something in the second half. Whereas other players who are also playing poorly, I'm not sure are capable of going on and doing something in the second half. So the sub has to happen now. And also, I'd be taking Ben Johnson on for Vladimir Coufal, by the way. I think Coufal's been crap in the first half as well. Some of his passing efforts have been rubbish. There was one, he just played out for a throw-in. I think it was Bowen. By the time Bowen controlled it, it was beyond the touchline. They were about 5 yards apart. It was the most simple pass you'll have to make. He just looks really hesitant on the ball today, Coufal, for whatever reason. So I'd take Coufal off for Johnson. I'd take WOLWHU off for Antonio. Now, at half-time, we've got to go and try and win this game. A draw is not enough. A draw is not enough. I agree with Brian here. Emerson needs to be careful. I thought it was harsh. I thought it was a penalty. I thought it was harsh to book him for it, though. But with the sort of free kick he conceded as well, I think he probably deserved a yellow card over the 2 fouls. But anyway, Joshua says we're no control either on or off the ball. Fullbacks haven't got up the pitch, but then again, no one has. Iron is asking if he's the only one that watches what Souček does. Depends. Jack from Hammer Analytics is a big fan of Thomas Souček. He's always defended Thomas Souček. I think Souček's been fine in recent weeks. Today, I don't think he's done anything wrong. I think the biggest thing he's done is stand on the ball when he should have, opened up his body and tried to put it away. Hello. Ben Johnson has come on for Vladimir Coufal. That's one change. And Michael Antonio is coming on. Is it for WOLWHU? I'm just waiting for confirmation on my phone. Where's Bevel? Hurry up with your piss. Michael Antonio is coming on, but I'm not sure who for at this point. I can only assume it's for James WOLWHU. I was just waiting for some confirmation here. Just let me check here. Where are we? Wolves, West Ham. Let me click on that. For Souček and Coufal. Okay, so James WOLWHU is staying on. Souček's gone off. But at least Michael Antonio is on. That's good. So Souček and Coufal off for Ben Johnson and Michael Antonio. No, I didn't, Constantine. I would have taken James WOLWHU off, not Thomas Souček, because I think we're going to get a few crosses in the second half. But yeah, I would have done the Ben Johnson for Coufal thing too. I think he's been absolutely dreadful in the first half. Anyway, I can't see the game. My iPad is downstairs. Charlie's busy ranting about Mavropanos' long balls, meaning he's delayed. So I'm going to be sticking around for the next minute. Hopefully nothing happens, so don't miss it before Charlie returns. Wait, let me just. Lee said it's the right subs. I would have left Souček on because I think he's better defensively, but I can understand it. I can understand it. Nice to see him do subs, I suppose. That's a positive, right? Would have preferred to have said. Sorry if everybody's thinking, what's going on in the game, Gio? Can you tell me? I cannot. My iPad's downstairs. And Mancini, I agree. These subs aren't acknowledgement. He's fucked up. I completely agree. I don't know why Antonio did it start, but here he goes. Bevo, you're here, right? I'm off. But just so you know, Bevo, Johnson's come on for Sufal, and Antonio's come on for Thomas Souček. Yeah. Okay. Right. Have fun. Enjoy the second half.
So yeah, thank you, Gio. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Right. So what was it? It was Johnson for Sufal and Souček for Antonio. Right. Let's line this down. So second half is underway. Thanks. He didn't exit the stream. We'll do that in a second. Right, so Sufal for Johnson. And then all the same, Kudus charging through on the left-hand side. Again, being forced out wide, pulls it across from Mikel Antonio, who's in the centre. Can't find him. And Antonio, I'm just trying to change the lineup at the bottom of the screen so it's correct. There we go. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe. That should be correct. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe. Like the video because it helps us out massively. Been the most consistent West Ham fan channel over the last 5 seasons we've been doing watch-alongs now, I believe it is. So make sure if you haven't, because that helps us out massively, to subscribe and like the video. Because if that means sometimes in West Ham Wolves with the thing that sometimes comes up top, it's just very, very useful. It's just very, very useful. Let me know if what's at the bottom is correct. I believe it is, but I could be wrong about that still. Jared Bowen goes down under the pressure from João Gomez, who's very happy to just take his time with this one. He stayed down. I'm not going to lie. It's sort of just giving an opportunity for Wolves to waste some time here. And if I were Wolves, I mean, the ball's still in play. I don't really know what happened with Jared Bowen there. If I'm honest, I thought he was maybe play acting a bit. The fact he stayed down for that long maybe suggests not. Where he sort of falls down a little bit awkwardly. It's it's whether it's a foul or not, I don't know. I think he gets a knee into the lower back. I think is what happens. He's sort of like I think he gets a knee to the lower back. I think he's sort of battling for the ball and the player's slightly behind him and it's sort of his knee comes up and hits him, I think, and he lands a bit awkwardly. He seemed to be reacting before there. I don't know. Yeah, landed weird. I don't know. He's still down though. He's still down, so we'll see what happens. The physios are on. Oh, good. Danny Ings just walking up. That's going to change the game. Charlie Clock. Mike, thank you very much. Excellent shout. Charlie is on autopilot. Charlie's had 2 hours sleep. Charlie's on 2 hours sleep. Thank you very much, Mike. Very, very kind of you. Appreciate it. So I could be more accurate with this. There's no rush right now. Bowen's still down, so there's no rush. Let's get accurate. There we go. That's exactly in time. It's even switching at the exact moment. You love to see it. You love to see it. Yeah, Bowen's still down. Good. Stream's frozen at that exact moment. Bowen's still down. We'll see if he's going to have to come off or what. Danny Ings was warming up. I assume that would be the sub somehow. Don't know how. I mean, Cornet, I guess. I think I saw Cornet warming up as well. So maybe you could get Cornet involved somehow. That would be a straight swap. It wouldn't be... I don't know. I'd rather Danny Ings than Cornet. Would I? I don't know. That's a lie. I'm not sure about that one. Not sure about that one. North Idaho Independent TV service is letting me down. Cornet on? Yeah. Well, I watched the Hall of Fame. No, I saw Paul Heyman's speech and then that was it. I saw Paul Heyman's speech about half an hour after the fact. I rewound and watched it, but I haven't seen the rest of it. My thing's down right now, so I can't say. Cornet on the left, Ings middle, Kudus right. I mean, at this point, if I'm David Moyes, obviously I know the 11 players I like and all that other sort of stuff, but realistically, who's that Cornet bloke? God knows. We'll find out, I guess. Seems new, like a new signing. It's one of those things where like changing it up has no negative effects, right? You keep everyone happy because you're changing it up. It makes you look like you're doing stuff proactively, and then at the same time, realistically, you're just getting to rest people for Thursday. So you might as well. You might as well. Media could not be loaded. God damn it. Going up, but looks like he might be going off. Okay. Cornet must have done stuff. Yeah, look, I don't even think it's a Zaha situation. I just don't think Cornet can play football anymore. To be blunt, to be blunt about it, I look at it and I'm like, he's just, I just think he might be done out here, unfortunately. Would love it not to be the case, but you know, it's playing 10 men while he's on the pitch. Yeah, keep me updated because I'm currently struggling here. I'm currently getting no's. That's the answer. Okay, we've got something here. Okay, right, we're back. We're significantly behind where we were, but we're back at least. There we go. We're back. It's back to full screen now. There we go. Right, we're back. Wolves playing it forward. Alvarez nods it down. Emerson, little play in behind Kudus, who again gets swarmed, and he free kick to us. Thank you very much. Just swarmed in there, stopped him getting forward. Yeah, Bowen is struggling here. You can see him trying to test it out, but he is definitely struggling. Jesus. This is very annoying. David Moyes urging his team to get forward. I've not got the fuse to deal with the stream cutting in and out right now. I've not got it. There are no bells, unfortunately. I messed up on that front. I went to the shops yesterday and just completely forgot to buy bells. I beg. Emerson on the ball. Lays it short for Mikel Antonio. He does well to keep that one. Plays it into Lucas Paqueta. And then Paqueta's pass across to the wide is awful. Whether or not it works out, we'll see. I'll tell you what, Bowen does well to keep that one in. Yeah, but he's coming off. There's no way he's staying on. He signaled to the bench. Bowen's definitely coming off. It's a massive shame, isn't it? It's a massive, massive shame. Let's just try this. Will this work if I do this? Probably not, right? It's big brain. That's big braining, Charlie. Yeah, off comes Jarrod Bowen. And on in his place is Aaron Cresswell. So we're going 3 at the back. So we're either going 3 at the back or Emerson is going to go sort of left wing. Aït-Nouri is also now down. We'll have to see. They're getting ready to make some changes as well here. Wolves. Cunha is looking like he's about to come on. Right, I'm gonna do some classic speaking too soon, but it seems to at least be moving consistently now, which is all we need. Yeah, Aït-Nouri comes off and Cunha comes on in his place. Doty and then... Itchy nose. There we go. I think that's accurate. Right. Aït-Nouri off. Cunha on. Cresswell on. Bowen off. Good ball from Paqueta into the path of Antonio, who can't get control. I'll be interested to see where Emerson ends up. He's currently very central and very high. Johnson trying to look to cross the ball in. Can't quite make it work. It's going to be a corner. We get a corner off it though. I'll be interested to see where Emerson goes, because Emerson is obviously effective at dribbling and line breaking and stuff like that. So actually, potentially putting Cresswell on and moving Emerson forward is maybe a good idea if you're looking to try and break Wolves down and try and keep them occupied. If you push him into a more advanced position, well, they seem to be very central for a moment there, but we'll have to see how that ends up working out. That could potentially affect it. And actually, if you're looking for someone who's going to sort of get involved and be able to break lines from a midfield position a bit better than, at least on the ball, maybe better than Thomas Tuchel, I don't know. We'll have to see how it ends up playing out. James Ward-Prowse to take the corner, out, swinger, over the top of everyone, can't quite get there. Kudus good control, hits it well over. Well over. Bit of a wasted opportunity there from Kudus, unfortunately. Oh, I've pressed like 8 buttons there. Didn't mean to press any of those. Meant to do that. Just that I know the time's paused just so I can get back in time. Oh, look, it's glitched as I said. That's great. Good. Having an absolute nightmare. It's not the worst I've ever had with streams, but it's up there. Trying to get the ball forward, nips it away. Mikel Antonio's going to shoot from range. No, he's not even going to shoot. He's just going to lose the ball. Ooh, a free kick. Free kick in what can only be described as James Ward-Prowse territory. This is so far off where we're at. It's a joke. But a free kick, Emerson taken down, I think it was, in a very dangerous position. Ball ends up at Emerson's feet, who gets taken out just outside the area. And again, pushing Emerson forward. Bit of a, is it a thing? Is it a thing? Was I proved correct instantaneously? Who knows? We'll see. It's going to be a free kick. James Ward-Prowse to take it. Just outside the area. Could be considered too close. Could be considered too close. It's inside the D. It's to get it up and over is wild. Kudus is standing over it, basically asking to take it. Alvarez is trying to receive instructions. Well, to be fair, I don't know if that's what Kudus is saying to him. But he's sort of saying a lot of things to James Ward-Prowse without any real response. Paqueta's also standing over it. This is James Ward-Prowse. It's all over. You can't say this is anything else. Will it go in? No, I suspect it'll hit the ball. It's too close. Getting it up and over from that sort of range is very, very difficult. I'm getting so annoyed at this stream. I'll let you know when it's actually... the timer has stopped because I'm just going to try my best to keep it in time, but it's going to be all over the shop. Semedo doing the draft excluder. He's holding his head. James Ward-Prowse, the whistle goes, takes a couple of steps back. It's too close to get it up and over from there. It's way too close to get it up and over from there. Hits it. Deflect. Ooh, deflection. Looked almost like it might squeeze in on the other side. Big deflection. Almost. So I'm not gonna be able to see the chat for a minute because I'm just gonna see if I can get something here to work consistently, because it's getting on my nerves so much at this point. Played in from the corner, resulting headed away. Ben Johnson collects. pinged back in towards the box, headed away from Wolves, not convincingly. Kudus picks it up. Back across. James Ward-Prowse trying to head it down, can't find it. I mean, there's that one, which is 2 minutes behind. Better second half. A commentator was just saying scrappy kind of second half, and she wasn't wrong, but slightly better from us in that we're actually getting on the ball and doing some stuff with it. Not particularly well, not particularly incredibly or anything, but it's sort of happening. Ball forward, Johnson collects it. Do you know what? We'll take this one. It's even further behind, but if it's consistent, I'll take it. Take it because all I need is consistency at this point. Because that's all we need right now. All we need right now is consistency. There we go. Right, we move from here. Okay. Is that accurate? Yeah. Okay. Right, we're back. We're back fully. West Ham passing it around. Like I say, it's been better second half. A lot of the changes have worked. It's interesting from Emerson's point of view. He's taken up that left wing space, which means you're seeing Kudus wide on the right hand side. Obviously, his in my opinion, his strongest position, which is good. A lot of the changes, it's kind of insane. James Ward-Prowse is finding himself as the deepest of them all as Emerson forces his way forward. Kudus looks to try and cross the ball in. Ooh, I thought there was a moment there where Emerson was going to get him around the back, couldn't quite make it work. Sarr collects the ball. But it's interesting to see how all the changes have worked out. It's a lot. It's sort of all changed, but again, we needed that. It wasn't working, and so the more changes you make, the more it's sort of going to be beneficial, I guess, to some extent, because we know our strongest 11 wasn't working. We know what we could do wasn't working. I mean, outside of Mikel Antonio, no, this was glitching. I know Mikel Antonio and everything else, but like we know that wasn't working. So you want to make all the changes you can. Paqueta just losing out on the ball relatively pathetically, if we're being honest about him. He's throwing a hissy fit in the middle of the pitch because of it. 60% possession. 60% possession so far in the second half from us, compared to 35% that we had in the first half. Again, this was always maybe a slight concern from Wolves' perspective of being able to sort of like at that point hold off a little bit and like they're in the lead. Maybe they get a bit more conservative, whereas really they'd want to still keep their foot on the pedal, and they sort of haven't done that as much in the second half. The bits that I managed to watch. And that was always sort of a concern from their perspective. Wolves playing the ball around on the right-hand side. Doyle looks to try and whip it in. Fabianski collects. Quick throw out to Ben Johnson. Nice little flick round the player there. Gets forward. I'm so annoyed by this flipping. He's skipping he skipped forward, but that's not useful for me because I can't see nonsense right now. Here we go. Right, Alvarez on the ball. Out wide to Johnson on the left-hand... Oh, sorry, on the right-hand side. Back to Kudus. Floats it across. Emerson! In! It's 1-1. Emerson with the header at the far posts. Oh, wait, he's turned around. He's been brought off for something. Oh, I can't see because it keeps skipping. Emerson's... I don't know, was it offside? Was it offside? I know you lot will be ahead of me, so I don't want to look and get spoilers, but... I mean, someone's down. I guess someone's down. I heard the word falling to the ground. Is the hint? Is the idea that Emerson found him? Let's have a look. Ben Johnson wide on the right hand side plays it short to Kudus, who again they can't really go double up on him. It's a good ball in, and Semedo collapses incredibly easily under Emerson there. That can't be a foul. Get out of town. Emerson strides forward, and it looks like in part of his striding, I'm not even sure how much of a connection he makes with Semedo's foot, if we're being honest about it. He looks like he maybe, at best, mildly steps on Semedo's foot by pure coincidence. Let's look. We're going to VAR now. Emerson on the far side, as the ball comes playing across, he's charging in behind him. He's trod on his foot, but it's completely accidental. So Semedo's foot is like, if this is a man usually standing, Semedo's like this because he's trying to shift. So this foot is like slightly further back than it would be normally. And because it's there, Emerson runs and sort of just treads on it slightly as he's going through and nods it in. Has that been ruled out? It's been ruled out. Oh, I can't be asked. I've not had enough sleep to deal with this. How is that a foul? Explain to me how that even begins to be a foul. He basically accidentally trods on his foot in such an incredibly minor fashion. That was so pathetic. How is that? Whatever. I know the time has stopped. I'm trying to get it back to where it's supposed to be. Oh, okay. Well, we move. How that's a foul, I will never know. How that's a foul, I will never know. I will never know. Oh, good. That one's just completely broken, I think. Let's see. That stream is now just completely broken. I'm having a mare. I just. That's not football. Right, I've just completely lost the stream now. I'm actually ready to attack a man. If there is a man, I will attack him. That's sort of where we're at. Okay, it's back and it's over 2 minutes ahead of where it was. Yeah, I don't particularly know how that was a foul, if I'm being honest. In fact, I don't know how that's a foul in any way. Antonio getting very heavily involved with who was that? Was it Bruno, maybe? I'm not sure. Getting very heavily involved, arms flailing with that. Referee called it as a foul, went to VAR, VAR confirmed it. I don't know how it was, I'll be honest with you. Insane. Happy that Mania's on somewhere, but yeah, I know, me too. I'll tell you what, fair play to, who is it? I don't know who it is. I don't know which Wolves player it is particularly, whoever their number 23 is. Him and Mikel Antonio getting unbelievably physical in a way that Semedo gets touched and ends up rolling around on the floor for a while. You know, getting unbelievably physical, and neither of them back down or go down, which is good because you don't usually see that. It's crashed again. I'm getting so annoyed. I'm getting so annoyed. No, it's just completely crashed. Okay, fine. Yeah, why not? Why not? Whatever. Why not? Just fail. You know, who needs it? That's a massive. I can't believe that's been ruled out. I know I'm still going on about it, but I genuinely cannot believe it's been ruled out. That's craziness. Is this one working again yet? Judas with the £2. Thank you very much. Completely just missed it there. We'll draw 1-1. This is just so unbearable to watch one on next season. Listen, at this point, I'll take a 1-1. Judas with the £2. Thank you very much. I think there was another one. Did I miss one? Oh, Oxby with the 199. How many pens do we give away? It's awful. Yeah, I know, it's crazy. I think we've given away the most pens. Well, thank you very much. You don't have to. Again, I stress this every time anyone donates, but you never have to give a super chat ever. But it's massively appreciated when you do. Thank you, bro. You don't have to at all. You don't have to at all. But thank you very much, Dex, for the £2. Judas, my trustworthy friend, with the £2. Thank you very much. As well, and the Oxby, which I missed. I don't know when this happened, Oxby. But 199. Thank you very much as well. How many pens we give away? It's awful. Aren't we? Did I hear the stat correctly in the first half that we've given away more pens than any other team this season? Was that correct? Did I hear that correctly? I need to put all your names in the thing. I think that's what I heard. But thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it. I'll put all your names in the top corner. Oh, Emerson picks up the ball in the deep area, pings it across. Handball potentially. Emerson's claiming for it. Penalty to West Ham. Handball, it was Max Kilman. Max Kilman, by the way, was the guy who Mikel Antonio was battling before. And Max Kilman looks to have given away a penalty here for a handball. Let's make sure that time is correct. Emerson, who being pushed further forward has been absolutely brilliant so far. He's really affected the game. Gets the ball off Totti, nips it, goes in. And yeah, kept Kilman's arm. That's an easy one. That one's easy. It's a bit close, but like that one's easy. His arm is in such an unnatural position. It's all the way out here. There's no way that's not a penalty. That's clear as day. That one's sharp. Open the shot case. Let's get all these in while VAR is checking that. But there is no way that's not a pen. Is it Judas? There'll be a penalty to West Ham. VAR are checking it, but there's no way that doesn't get ruled out. Sorry, there's no way that one gets ruled out. There we go. Everyone's name in the top corner. Thank you very much. Dexter, Judas, Oxby, and then, of course, Johnny Smith from earlier. Massively appreciate you all. Massively appreciate you all. I obviously won't be checking the live chat because I know you lot will be ahead of me. Paqueta steps up to take the pens. Probably the best penalty taker we have, in my opinion, right now. Last 5 pens, scored them all, mostly on the right-hand side. Up steps Lucas Paqueta. Hits it. Little shimmy. 1-1. Good pen as well. Little shimmy. Puts it on the same side he usually does. Trying to get the ball off Jose Sarr. In a quite polite manner. There was a little shaking hand going on. We take it. We take it. 1-1. We take it. It feels, to be honest with you, on second half performance, probably more deserved than it was on first half. First half performance, this would be an absolute disgrace if we're being honest. But if you're talking about purely second half, we've definitely looked since we've done all of the changes, we've definitely looked better, a lot better than we did, a lot better than we did. This is so I'll let crashes. It's just crashed completely again. Let's try this. Well, that just fails. But 1-1, it's a good pen from Paqueta and brilliant work from Emerson. Since getting moved forward, he's done really well. It was, like I said, it was an interesting idea putting Cresswell on for him and then pushing him into a more advanced position. I was interested to see how it would end up working out because he does break the lines well, he does move forward well, and it's not like if you put Cresswell forward in those positions, I would be like, okay, what the hell is going on here? That's just madness. But with Emerson, you can sort of see the idea of why you would want to put him further forward and how that would work out. And it has, well, so far, so good. So far, so good. He scored and created another one. And obviously the goal, first one didn't count because he stood on the guy's foot somehow. But we take that. We take that. Yeah, everything crashing, freezing for me too. So yeah, thank you. Thank you. Susan with the £5. Thank you very much. Supporting West Ham is so stressful. Thanks for being stressed with me, everyone. Yeah, I don't honestly, without the watch along most of the time, I don't know how I would have kept up the last 5 years. There's been some hellish times, and without it, I don't know how I would have done it. So thank you, everyone, as well. But Susan, thank you very much for the £5. Helps us out massively. Let's just get real. Come on, one of these, surely. Again, we've got this one in the background. This one is 4 minutes behind, so we can't really go with that one, but it's there if we need it. No. Working yet? Go back and try this one again. Why not? There we go. Okay, right. Wolves have made some changes. Traore and someone else have just come on. Do you know what I'm going to do? Just because I think it's going to be impossible to keep up with this right now, I'm just going to take that off the screen. Because I don't think I'm going to be able to keep up with it. Right, we go from it. Where are we at? We're about 20 seconds ahead of us. In fact, do that. There we go. We're back in. This is your fault not having supply bells. I know. I take full responsibility for just all of it. Just all of it in general. I take full responsibility. Crashed again. I refuse to use this one because it's so far behind. Now it's skipped forward a minute. We can see the subs at least. What's happened on this one? Lamina and Sarabia have come off. Okay, so that's the Wolves changes. Lamina and Sarabia have come off for Wolves, and on in their place is Chwome and Traore. I'd bet if I could, Judas. I'd bet if I could, but there's no bells. Otherwise, trust me, I'd be all over it at this point. Do you know what? If this one's working consistently, I'm just going to take it. Is it like a minute behind? Yes, but at this point, I really do not care. There you go. Right. There we go. Okay. I'm watching a game of Arak or Turkish or something. I would take that as long as I could see it consistently. I don't tend to listen to the commentators. I only have them on in the background so I can, just in case I get a player's name or whatever mixed up, or so I can know exactly in that sense. But apart from that. No, he does have arms. It just doesn't come through the sleeves. It's a throw into West Ham, left-hand side, 34. It's just, it don't come through the sleeves. There are arms there. Otherwise, it's going to be... See what I mean? There is an arm there. It's just... You can't slip it through, you know? You can't slip it through. I know, shocking lack of depth on the bells. You hate to see it. I'm losing my mind. This stream. It just work. This is so much to ask for. Trying to flick it forward, doesn't quite work out. It's going to be a throw in on the right hand side. Imaginary bell. Charlie actor. I don't have the chops. If he wasn't so enthralled by what was happening sort of over there, then I would get him to do it. Because he's got the chops. I don't have the chops for that. The silent film, yeah, black and white. We'll get the full like old fashioned like black and white film pianos, like that sort of stuff, you know. That was my impression of a piano, apparently. Zuma on the ball, ends up playing it backwards. This stream is doing no better. Really, it's getting further and further back. I'm losing my mind. I'll press play on the timer when it's back in time. Right, let's see how long this lasts. Literally that long. Less than a second. Okay, we're back. Like I said in the first half, Wolves would have to keep up everything they were doing in the second half. Like it just wasn't. It was always going to be difficult. They were going to have to really be like, right, we're going to have to go full force and really keep on it, because that was them playing at their best. And so the idea of them being able to do anything else, it would have been a lot for them to ask. Antonio almost getting behind, but yeah. So it's going to be it's a lot to ask from them when that was them playing at their pinnacle, and they've not managed to do it in the second half. They've just not managed to do it. It's not like they've got necessarily. They've not got on like miles and miles worse, but they're just not where they were when they need to be or where they were. Work through loads of these to see if any of these are working, because right now I'm seeing nothing. Just get rid of that then. Is this one working yet? That'd be nice. Nope. That's a nope. This one. I've got so many open. I'm just skipping through them all to see if any of them at any point are going to start. Because I've got the one that was like miles behind it. It just keeps getting further and further behind. Like it's almost a minute back. Sent you a new one. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Seeing the words Kudus no. Can't see why, but I'm seeing the words Kudus no a lot. Big ping forward. I can't get that one to work at all, dude. I'm having such a bad time. Let's just get real mad with it. Let's just get real mad with it. Seeing a lot of Kudus wire. That should have been a goal. He took one too many touches. Kudus, mate, what are you doing? Yeah, I can't get it to work, Dina. I don't know why. It's just not happening for me. You know, I don't. I don't know what it is with me. I'm just not good at life. Yeah, like I said, like I was saying, I feel like Wolves, they needed to keep it up. They had no chance, right? They were playing at their peak and they had to keep that going, otherwise it was going to be a bad thing. And what happened is we managed to change a lot of things around and got back into the game relatively. Not in a massive like huge unbelievable kind of way, but in a way where we've managed to sort of like move a bunch of pieces around, sort of get what constitutes some form of attack, sort of making it happen and force them into positions they don't like as much, and they've dropped off significantly. Like I said, there was a moment there where they just weren't able to do anything. Or we weren't able to do anything, and a lot of the things have changed around and it's worked out in our favour. They've not been able to keep up that momentum that they had in the first half. Well, there we go. This one's back now. Oh, I'm looking at a Kudus chance now. Yeah, he does take too many. Whoever said too many punches, 100% correct. Right, there we go. There we go. Let's do that. Sounds like 3 minutes behind. There we go. Shot from... Ooh, Traore, shot from range. Shot from range, and Traore... Fabianski matches it, thankfully. Having said that, it was from very far away, Traore there. Absolute pile driver, and Fabianski equal the match to it. He's hit it from some range. Fair play to him. Let's get back into the game. Let's figure out where we're at. Is the timer correct? Yeah, the timer is correct. Okay. Let's just hope this survives for 8 minutes. That's all I need. Emerson short to out. Paqueta. Crashed instantaneously. I beg. Is all I need is I beg. Where's the one that was 8 minutes behind? What? The one that was behind is now ahead, and James Ward-Prowse has scored. James Ward-Prowse has scored directly from a corner. All right, James Ward-Prowse, it's an in-swinging corner from the left-hand side. I'm so annoyed. That is the most annoying thing that is possible to have happened. Oh my god, now this one's crashing. James Ward-Prowse has scored directly from a corner. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Big. You'd love to see it. You love to see it. It's now 2-1. James Ward-Prowse, it's an in-swinging corner from the right, from the left-hand side. He's hit it, and it's just gone. It's looped over the goalkeeper and hit the side netting at the far side. James Ward-Prowse has scored directly from a corner. We've been waiting all this time. For James Ward-Prowse to score a free kick. Right, all this time, every time a free kick comes up in a fairly decent position, not that it's that frequent, but like, oh my god, now's the time, it's gonna happen, James Ward-Prowse is gonna score, blah 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 blah. Every time it's not worked out, bro just scored directly from a corner, so that's worked out for us. 2-1, 2-1. There we go. I can't. This stream's not working. I want to die. Bring me death. I can't believe that. The one that was ahead is now behind and it's just scored. Let me have a look at it a bit more. So James Ward-Prowse, in swinger. Well, every single time he was taking corners from that position and I was complaining about him hitting it in the same place every single time. Doesn't hit it in the same place, it goes in. And was I correct all along? Categorically no. Categorically that's not what I meant. But hey, it's worked out. Do you know what? This one I'm giving up on that one. I'm giving up the ghost on that one. But we're in the lead. 2-1. I give up. I actually give up. Right, let's just. Do you know what we're gonna do? I'm having literally, genuinely the worst time. While watching the Luton stream, Mr. Pete Hammer, I wish I could provide you with more details right now. I apologize. I wish I could provide you with more details right now. There we go. We got one. Yeah. Okay, right. I've got confidence in this one. I've got complete and utter misplaced confidence in this one. And shall we just leave it at 13? It'll be there in a sec. There we go. Right. Yeah. Right. Here we go. 2-1. Okay. 2-1. I don't know how far behind everyone I am. Probably about 8 years. It's fine. It is the way it is. Should be 3-1. Emerson didn't touch that dude. Yeah, I strongly agree, Eric. Hope you're well, by the way. You looking forward to tonight? I might be doing a watch along on my wrestling channel. I don't know yet. We'll see. This one's broken. That's just completely crashed. And now I'm seeing the word Phillips in chat. Oh, good. Oh, this is good. This is beautiful. This is great. It's just good times, isn't it? It's back to working. Paqueta, piece of Paqueta with an unreal piece of crap housery. I'm very, very here for it. Takes about 8 years to get the ball. It's a throw in to them, and he's trying to like pick up the ball and move around. He's falling all over the shop, then throws another ball onto the pitch to try and waste some time. He picks up a yellow card for it. It's the most obvious yellow you're ever going to see. That was deeply hilarious. That was so deeply hilarious. Emerson doing really well there to battle. He loses out, but I like the battle. He's gone for it. That was so funny. 10 minutes of added time. I can't deal with these streams breaking for another 10 minutes, let alone the football. Oh, Kudus does brilliantly there. Flicks it onto the outside. Paqueta's there. It's almost 3v3. Paqueta, the ball back to Kudus was poor. He's not been great today, Paqueta. He's tried it. It's not quite worked out. The stream's broken. I can't deal with the streams for another 10 minutes. I can't deal with it. Oh. See, I don't. But see, this is the thing. I respect it either way. I respect it either way. Like, I 100% understand, and I'm probably the only person who, when I see a bit of craphousery, especially like when it's against us, I just laugh and go, "That's just hilarious." But like, at the same time, yeah. Let's just keep refreshing this one until it works. It seems to be. I'm not interested. Not now. There we go. Here we go. 1 minute for each substitute and then whatever for injuries. Is that how that works? Is that how that works now? Cleared away by Kurt Zuma. It's going to be a throw to Wolves on the right-hand side. I guess you had the big VAR calls. You had the big VAR calls, I guess. That's one of them. I don't know. I think, by the way, I think a West Ham fan won one line on the match bingo. I'm just checking it now to keep an update. I'm so close to 2 lions, but it's just not going to happen. I'm so close to 2 lions, but it's just not going to happen. But someone won money who has like a West Ham themed name. I'm not gonna out them in that sense, but someone did win money who had a West Ham themed name. So if you're watching this, congratulations on your match bingo win, my friend. Congratulations on the win, £25. You love to see it. You say 5 minutes, 4 minutes of beating down. Yeah, VR checks. Yeah, I guess it does add up. I guess it does add up in that sense. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Bowing down at least 5. Yeah. Okay, fair. When you add in those numbers, yeah, sure. Going through the refresh game right now, see if one of these refreshes finally make it work. Just looking at chat. Seeing a lot of Zuma chat. Don't know what he did, but I'm here for it, whatever it was. Emerson getting involved, Paqueta, Antonio jumping in deep. Kudus. Poor shot from Kudus. Poor shot from Kudus. Poor shot from Kudus. My time correct? It's about 10 seconds off. Battling for it to try and make the opportunity happen. And then it's a wasted opportunity from Kudus, if we're being honest about it. But, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. 6 minutes left. Big ball. That's an awful ball. Thank you very much. We'll be taking that. We'll be taking that. Who's that looking injured? Gomez. João Gomez is looking injured for Wolves. Oh, itchy nose. Yeet. How he's managed to bring that back, I'll never know. I'll never know. See, Sami Zayn's doing comedy now. Sorry. Kudus on the ball inside the area. Skips past 2, then tried to play it across. Didn't get the space to do it. It's going to be a corner. Or is it a goal kick? No, it's a goal kick. Kudus, he's not been great today. He's not been great today. Love him as a player. Would happily watch him all of the time. But it's not been the one for me today. For the refresh game again. 5 minutes to go. Come on, refresh. You can do it. 4.5 minutes to go. Just a countdown at this point. Why not? That's what I'm here for. Emerson looks good in midfield. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. It's obviously not something I would do frequently, but I think it was the right choice. Like I said at the time, it was an interesting idea. Pushing forward, you can get involved in spaces that other people can't. And I think Cresswell, they weren't really threatening in those areas anyway. Not that Cresswell is any worse. Emerson wins another free kick. It's not that Emerson is free kicking maybe too far away for James Ward-Prowse territory, but there we go. He scored from a corner, so God knows. Not that Cresswell is particularly defensively worse than Emerson, to be honest. I think they're probably about the same. But Wolves weren't really threatening down that in that sort of area. So in reality, putting Emerson forward, bringing on Cresswell deeper, just allowed Emerson to sort of create space in and around the area. I mean, that's worked out for us. Good to see you, Jack. How are you? How long left? It's a 10-minute stoppage time, so we've got 3.5 minutes. Well, just under 3.5 minutes left. I've not seen much of it myself. Streams are great today. And by great, I mean I'm having the worst time. We were awful in the first half. The first half was god-awful. We were terrible. Second half, we've been a lot better. We made a lot of changes. Antonio came on. Johnson came on. Made a lot of changes. And we've looked a lot better in the second half. But first half, we were god-awful. Streams crashed again. You love to see it. I'm going to go back to the refresh game. Let me know if James Ward-Prowse scores, by the way. I don't think he will, but let me know if he does. I think it's too far away from him to score from that free kick. I'm back to just refreshing the stream over and over again. Oh. Do you know what I really want right now? Apart from a stream that works. I really want to listen to Return of the Mac by Mark Morrison. That's what I need. That'll make everything bearable. Turn of the Mac. Oh yeah, give me the extended one. Give me the 7-minute version. Yeah. There we go. Right, we're back. 2 minutes to go. We're back. It's a corner to Wolves. We apparently didn't score by the looks of it. Whipped in. They've scored. Wolves have scored. It's Max Kilman with a header from a corner. On the balance of the entire game, a draw is probably fair. The Emerson goal that was ruled out, I don't think should have been ruled out. Corner, in-swinger, played right into the centre. Max Kilman rises. There's literally not a single West Ham player near him. He's completely free in that area. There's not a single West Ham player near him. Emerson just lets him run. What can I just say about him defensively? What can you do? 2-2. 2-2 on the balance of the entire game. It's probably fair, but that's awful to fair. From a corner, that's some basic nonsense. VAR's checking something. I guess a foul. Not that I saw anything. Not that I will see anything. Stream's dropped again. Keep me updated. If honestly, if VAR comes to our aid in this insane. Seen the word offside. Where was the offside? It was a corner. How was there an offside in a corner? Has it been disallowed? Blocking vision? Okay, we're back. We're looking at it. Okay, so the referee's going across to the monitor. The 10 minutes of stoppage time is up, as you can see in the top corner. I'm not going to bother to fix the timer. We're here. The referee is looking at the monitor. Where's the offside? Oh, there. So there's a player in front of Fabianski, and the argument is whether he's blocking his sight line. I tell you what, we might actually get away with this. I'm not going to lie. So Max Kilman rises. It's horrendous defending and heads it in. But there's a Wolves player. If you're Max Kilman and I'm Fabianski, there's a Wolves player directly in the way. And you can see... Has it been disallowed? It has. We've got away with it. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. There was a Wolves player who was obviously doing up Mikel Antonio, Kevin Nolan things on the goalkeeper, getting involved in whatnot. And it's going to be a yellow card for someone on the bench. And so he's directly in the way like this. And to be fair, I will say this, right? To be fair, as Max Kilman headers it, you can see Fabianski not really sure what to do, and there's like a little stuttery movement where it feels like he doesn't know where the ball is and sees it last minute. So in that sense, he's offside. I'm not gonna lie, it's a bit insane. I don't know how that's happened, but I guess R1, in my opinion, should have stood so kind of it all comes around. I thought 2-2 would have been a fair result given the entire game, but wow. I don't even know. How many times does VAR actually work in our favour? Not often. That's just wild. How we've got away with that, I'll never know. How we got away with that, I'll never know. But 2-1. 2-1. Let me know if full time happens. 2-1. I mean, it's low-key completing our nonsense, but I mean, it was offside. I guess, but the rules of the game, it's offside. Played into the box from Wolves. Mavropanos rises, heads it away, header backwards from Paqueta, trying to get it off. Johnson battling for it. Mavropanos heads it again. Antonio battling for it. Just outside the area, Wolves have the ball. Mikel Antonio's all over him. No foul. Fair play to the ref for not giving that one away. Fair play. Whipped in. Headed away from Emerson. Paqueta just completely misses the kick. Just a bit ahead of him. Wolves playing it back to the goalkeeper. We're about to hit 103 minutes, and there is the final whistle. 2-1. In a game which frankly made no sense at most stages of it. 2-1, a big second half performance from West Ham. A god-awful first half performance that, Jesus Christ, I don't even want to think about, let alone talk about. Cunha is screaming at the ref. He's got a yellow card. Gary O'Neill's come across to try and stop him and talk calmly to the ref, but Cunha's still going on. Cunha might get in trouble here, but it's beside the point. A massive, massive second half performance, much better. People will say it was Antonio coming on. I think it was Ben Johnson. But, you know, Bele, is he the game changer we need? Yes, at all times. But a lot of change in the second half, moving Cresswell, taking Cresswell on and moving Emerson forward was a big game changer. But yeah, wild. And then a last minute disallowed goal from them, just when I thought 2-2 was happening and I thought it was the correct result in the end. Ross with the £2. Thank you very much. Cheers, Charlie. Until the next one. Thank you very much. We will be back probably on Thursday, everyone. There is a live Hammers Chat event. If you're a patron, check out that. I don't know if it's sold out yet, which Geo Gonzo will be doing a thing at. But I will be here doing the build-up show, the watch-along, and the review all by myself. So make sure to come back on Thursday and help me out because I'm going to need it. But thank you, Ross. Thank you to Susan, to Dexter, to Judas, to the Oxby, and to Johnny. It helps us all out massively, not just me. It helps out the channel massively, massively. As does watching the live review, which will be happening in just a few moments' time. Check it out. Thank you very much, everyone. See you Thursday. And come on, you guys. We've won. Wild.